We're going to take a nice journey through this Tennessee Valley Authority Act of 1933, you dig? We're talking about the TVA, AI to my HaWah. I don't have your name in front of me, but I remember you left a comment about this, and I just want to follow up and see where it goes. I'm searching this real time with you, AI, to all the dragons on the wall, all the cons all across the plane, all the wave surfers that keep surfing the wave, just get stronger. Just continue to sprout out, man, from the root, my Naga. You are the root. You are the truth. Ahab to all the prisoners behind the wall. All my Nagas locked up. We're doing this for you. You know what I'm saying? Ahab to my Naga A-N-T. You already know how we do. You know what I mean? HaWah. The TVA, or Tennessee Valley Authority, was established in 1933 as one of President Roosevelt's Depression-era New Deal programs, providing jobs and electricity to the rural Tennessee River Valley. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds so good. Because they keep saying the same dang thing, right? We talk about the damn dams, 91,000 dams in America we looked up last time, right? 91,000 dams in America. Okay. Okay, ain't nothing to see here, boss. We just flooding city after city after city, city. And I'm about to get some great drop from my sister Copper Color Creation. Go support her channel. Go support her flow. Dropping in the ether every Tuesday, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. 432 The Drop Radio. And we just being framed in shape. Look out for the new schedule. I got y'all. It's finally happening. It's all happening. It's finally happening. Just a lot going on behind the scenes with the website, man. And of course, we building in real time. So ThaWaDa for your patience as we get our platform, A1 like the sauce, and, something that you could be proud of checking in every day at 432thedrop.com. But let go, man. Let go. So it's all good, right? They're providing jobs, electricity, water, all this. Now, this is not for you. When they say providing jobs, they're not talking about the Naga, right? They're providing jobs to themselves in the same way that the missionaries, that were hijacking your spirit, they had jobs. The same way that the mercenaries that were dashing our babies on the rocks and throwing them off the cliffs, that was their job too. This is their job to dam you up and flood your cities, just like the mercenaries. Because I think you were doing just fine without their electricity. I think you had high tech. Oh, that Tesla ain't nothing new. Tartarian, man, this is Nagaville. What you talking about, Tartarian? So who's this Tennessee River Valley jabronis, man? An area that spans 7 states in the South. Now, when you think Tennessee, think about Hiawatha. Remember Hiawatha? The Hiwassee River, named after HaWah, who preceded Tecumseh. They say Tecumseh has some connection with HaWah. These are Hebrew Israelites in America, in the ancient world, in India Superior, in the land of the Prester, Kondawi, Kon. So they stress this over, man, 7 states. Imagine how much drop has been flooded in these 7 states throughout Tennessee and all the surrounding states around Tennessee. Imagine how much drought, how many cities, man, how many of our cities are underwater because of the Tennessee River Valley Authority. Whose authority? The TVA was envisioned as a federally, right? It's always federal because it is federal war. All right, this federal is at war against the Naga. God, I think that's obvious by now. I think you at least saw the civil rights stuff, right? So, come on, man. Wake up, man. The TVA was envisioned as a federally owned electric utility and regional economy development agency. Whose economy? Who's getting rich off this stuff? Who's being developed? They said they're civilizing us, right? They're developing us, right? They're developing themselves on our head bone. They're flooding our cities to build theirs, man. They're taking away from our water flow to put it towards them, man. It still exists today as the nation's largest public power provider because they got the most damn dams. Yeah. Oh, the history starts in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, a small town located in southern bank of the Tennessee River. President Woodrow Wilson authorized the building of the hydroelectric dam at Muscle Shoals in 1916. See, after that Tecumseh War, after all them Chickamauga wars, matter of fact, let's get some perspective. Because remember, America has been at war 93% of the time, which we know is a farce, man, because we know these hijacks never have had no peacetime. They've been at war and they had their head. Look at this. Look at all these bodies to put their flag onto, right? This is the Naga bodies. And these are all these years. And of course, we pop off with the Chickamauga. When you recon the Chickamauga, they're the ones that signed no treaties and made no deals. And the other Cherokee made deals, right? So this is how many Nagas made no deals, that this is how long this war took. Because my Nagas, you weren't making no deals. So when were you a slave? Huh? If you're the Chickamauga, when were you a slave, man? When were you just picking cotton in the plantation? You sure that was you? Because it seems like you've been fighting the whole damn time. It seems like, my Naga, you're not a slave, but you were a prisoner of war, Northwest Indian, barber, Hebrew word of the day, Berber. Huh? Come on, man. It's too easy at this point. It's too easy at this point. Berber? Nah. Barbar? Berbar? How they say it? Berbar? Barber? Yeah, there we go. Hebrew word of the day. Hebrew word of the day. Swan. Ka. Swan. Swan. In Hebrew is barber, right? This is why we're breaking it down so we can see clearly. It's not about, being stuck in a loop. You know what I'm saying? You can't get stuck in a loop because you're used to flowing a certain type of way, yada, yada. You got to be able to be framed in shape in the fourth quarter like you was in the first quarter, or you're no good to the wave. You know what I'm saying? Because turn into stale water. You're not moving water. You're not being framed in shape, my nigga. We talk berbar, it's a swan. Now you go into the what? The swan nights, right? I'm just putting this. You know what I mean? I'm just showing you a train of thought that you can recon easily for yourself, especially if you got the Ether Pack. You got all this drop on there. Hey, out to all my Nagas supporting the Ether Packs. If you ain't got your Ether Pack 1, support the tribe and support yourself and get them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books on there, as well as Ether Pack 2. You know what I'm saying? And all that drop that you need to surf the wave on your own with no internet. You got the USB, you plug it in, you pop it off. Ether Pack 1, Ether Pack 2. Look out for Ether Pack 3. You got your Preston packs, you got your flat pack, Ether bands. Now you got all that drop, right? So, okay. Look out for the next Preston pack. Look out for the next flat pack. We popping off. Hey, look out for them Yosef, the real packs. Five Eyes Ma. Mixtape, man. 9 Spiral popping off. Hey, I'm just so happy for the tribe, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time. We're just talking swan. And what's so cool about this swan? Oh man, I ain't been in here like I'm used to being in this document, man. And yeah, when I start getting cozy in here again, we popping off. We just talking Shimbala or we just talking Cibola, Cibola. Naga, if they're flooding all of Tennessee and all these 7 states, how many states? Whoa. I didn't even see that coming. I did not even see that coming. Hey, HaLal, we just surfing the wave, man. We just surfing the wave, man. Eeks. Eeksies. Eeksies, man. What the? Why 7? I mean, I was thinking about that. Why 7 states? Why does the Tennessee River span 7 states? It could be nothing, could be something, but we do know, uh, last time that we checked, there are 7 kingdoms, right? 7 cities, huh? Around Lake Kapala. We showed that lake. Get back in that Kalelu series every Tuesday, 11 o'clock after my sister pops off. Copper Color Creation. Let's go. Brand new TDR schedule for the wave surfers only. For the wave surfers only. The Tibetan Hindu. So all this Hindu stuff is happening in big India, big dragon India, not little India, man. All this Hindu stuff is a reflection of the Hebrew stuff, the Shimbala stuff. This is where you get Sheba, or the daughter of the 7, the daughter of the oath. Welsh and Wynn, King Arthur's Camelot is Kalelus, which they call Roman. This is why we get back to the Hebrew words of the day, like barbar, or remani, or reman. Because when they say Roman, you got to know they're saying the Hebrew word reman. Ka. Hebrew word of the day. Hebrew words of the day. We just popping off because they just now are tuning in. Like, I can't make this up. I didn't write this. All right, so when you talk Rimmon, this is where they took Roman, right? So in actuality, you can't give them by rights even the Roman title. You could say that the Rimani and the Riman or Roman. You can make that distinction. I mean, that's the best we could do. But in reality, they're not even Romans. Because the Roman is just a Riman. You know what I'm saying? You can't even let them have that. But for the sake of discussion, fine, man. But, I ain't trying to give them none. Because the Rimani is the Roman, right? Now they got the Romans that are supposed to be connected with the Promised Land, with Camelot, but they're just talking Kalelus, which means Promised Land. And Rimmon is Roman, but Rimmon is what? Man, Hijack City, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. I gotta do a fake subscription to this thing. Well, you see it right here, man. Rimmon is Remon. The Hebrew word for both pomegranate and grenade, like pomegranaga or pomegranata, is pomegranate. I mean, you popping off, right? You are popping off. Dragon fire, bang, grenade, promised land, protected by these fiery grenade pomegranagas, man. You a pomegranate, man. You are a Riman. You are the Riman. You are the Rimani. This is it. This is the pomegranate that Joshua and Caleb had to, discover to make sure that they were in the promised land. This is the real apple. The real apple. Word of the day, Remind. Hebrew word of the day. Yeah, yeah, we just popping off, man. Hebrew word of the day. Barber. Barber. Swan. Why is this barber relative to the Barbary War? Khan, do you see a difference between the Chickamauga and the Barber? Swan, maybe if you knew what a swan knight is, now that you understand Kalalus, the Rimmon pomegranate, Hebrew, promised land, Kalalus. Kalalus means promised land. Cibola is Shembala. This is the land of Shem, my Naga, the seven kingdoms. Why do they have? I can't. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why does the Tennessee River Valley span 7 states, man? If we're just talking seven kingdoms. Hmm, that's interesting, right? King Arthur's Camelot, Avalon, all that. King Solomon's mines. Come on, man. Who's Sylvanus? Told Texas. Solomon the Builder. Mines in the land of Ophir. And Moses' promised land, man. So it's right in your face, bone. This author, Daniel Lowe, is saying the Aztec legend of Aslan, Plato's mythical Atlantis. So all this is the same thing. Aslan with the Aztecs, Atlantis, the Roman Jewish Kalelu, which is the what Hebrew word of the day, Reman, which just means pomegranate. Khan, stay with me, is the seven cities, my naga. 7 cities of gold. That's the Manico's looking for, Coronado's looking for. Lake Kapala, around Lake Kapala, the Tibetan Hindu mystical seven kingdoms of Shambhala, Sheba, right, is Khalifa, California, Cali, Kalalus, the Welsh Annuin, and King Arthur's Camelot in the land of Avalon, and many others, such as King Solomon or King David, who is Prester John, in the land of Ophir and Moshe, his promised land. Again, Joshua had to find the pomegranates, let's go, where he sent scouts who brought back pomegranate, Hebrew word of the day, Reman. Reman is pomegranate. Oh man, that's where they got Roman, because they wanted the connection to everything. This connects them to everything, right? But is Charles V really a true Reman? Or is he stealing the title? Are they really Berbers? Are they stealing the Swan Knight title? And what's a Swan Knight? Let's go. Yeah. What is a Swan Knight in 775 AD? This is the Forbidden Histories of America, my Nagas. 775 Nehemiah, Theodore reconquered, which means it was already in their family. They had to reconquer it. But this is two Hebrew, what I'm saying, nations going, or yeah, I guess Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, whatever you want to flow with it. But there's this Nehemiah Theodoric in 775 AD that goes to war with Sylvanus Texas, also known as Solomon the Builder, hereditary ruler of the former Hebrew ruled Remani colony, pomegranate Nagas in Kalalus, or Camelot, or Atlantis, or Aslan. You know what I'm saying? Come on, put it together. Kalalus was ruled by Sylvanus Toltecs. Put it together. Solomon the Builder, the hereditary ruler of the former Hebrew-ruled Romani kingdom, not colony, because we're not colonizers on our own land. This is India Superior, the land of the Prester. Kalalus was founded in the 1st century BC. So they say Jewish ruled Roman colony, which is why we got to break down Romani so clearly. We can't go down this path no more with them, man. We got to cut it off so we can see clearly. Kalalus was founded in the 1st century BC by the Babylonian exarch known as Sylvanus Ogam or Sylvanus Brabo, who is Solomon II Babylonian exarch, Nasi of Mara, ruler of Sumer. Sumer set in Britain. That's in parentheses, but are we just talking Sumerian? Are we just talking Sumerian? A great Roman, Jewish, or Romani Hebrew ruler, soldier, and ancestor of the Swanites, or the Barber Hakazim. Body bag for the illusion. Wow, so Swan, which is Barber, which is the Hebrew word of the day, Barber, which is Swan, validation, confirmation, is exactly who they're at war with in the Barbary War. They just keep switching the name. Quasi-war. What the hell is that? No major war? Yeah, right. oh, you switch in 1 year from the Chickamauga War to Northwest Indian War, or are these still the Chickamauga, still the Chickamauga, still the Chickamauga, still the Chickamauga, and the barber is the Swan Knight. The same Swan Knight connected with the originals, Exilarchs, Kalaluses, Chiefs, Presters, Solomon, the Builder, Dawi, who might also go under Sylvanus Ogam or Bravo. Could be titles for David as well. You know, this Solomon title, according to Genie.com, is in our hereditary line, you know what I'm saying, way before the Solomon we know, that son of David. You know, there's been other Solomons before that. There's been other Davids. My Naga, it goes, you know what I mean? It gets deep when you get into, you know, I guess the real genealogy of things, you know what I'm saying? But these are titles: Solomon, Sylvanus, Bravo, Sylvanus, Solomon, Shaloma, Shalom. All those are the same words. Different languages, same words. Sylvanus is Shaloma, is Solomon. Yeah, this Romani, who's an ancestor of the Swan Knights, also known as the Barber HaKazim. But we would never think that they were going to war against the Swans right in our Facebook. And that leads directly to Tecumseh's War, which was the turning point because he tried to rally all the tribes of Israel, and not everyone, you know, wanted to rock Chickamauga style and do no treaties. They wanted to side on the other side of the more on more war. And we got into that, and we're going to keep getting into that. As uncomfortable as it is, we got to make atonement. You can't just say you're Indian. You can't just say you're Aboriginal. You can't just say, oh, I'm a part of this kingdom here, without making atonement for whatever side you were on right here. This is when it's all won and lost, people. If you weren't on the side of these Texas Indians, man, these Mexicans, man, these Seminoles, these Cherokee that are the Chickamauga still, huh? Big Tack in there, man, love to the bro. What? The Barbers, which are the Swans. Why? Because he also had a fleet of trading vessels. Who? He, we're talking Sylvanus told Texas, Solomon the builder. And Solomon had a whole fleet of trading vessels, just like the scripts say. But this timeline is happening in 775 AD. Uh-oh, boss. Would they push back your history 1,000 years? Scaliger and Batavius and them? Hell yeah. They sure did add 1,000 years. My Naga, they sure did push Solomon to the BCs and David to the BC so you could never connect. And it's probably way more recent than this, man. You could probably put a 1 in front of that 7 and get closer to the original flow. But that's just if you're surfing away, you know. Because when you put a 1 right here, you're in 1775. What's happening in America in 1775, my night? Uh-oh, boss. It's just popping off. Really? Is this a... Come on. What's the odds? If you're a betting man, if you're a betting, sister, what's the odds that is just now popping off with the Chickamauga at the same time here that is just now popping off against Sylvanus told Texas, you know what I'm saying? This whole situation going on. How does this link with that? I mean, that's just if you're willing to put a 1 in front of the 7. But then, we got some explaining to do. Why was Nehemiah rolling up on Solomon? Was there a code issue? Was there a code issue? You know what I'm saying? Right here. Is that why HaWah was allowing us to be rolled up on? Does this remind you of the Maccabees? This remind you of the Sakari flow, love to yourself. Okay, I mean, that's just if you're a wave surfer. But just know that the Chickamauga, who signed no deals, you dig? All this is the same. The Seminole War is the same because they were fighting with Tecumseh, not against Tecumseh. You dig? The Creek, they were allied with Tecumseh. The Choctaw, we know, were fighting against Tecumseh. He tried to, make an alliance, but their chief wasn't having it. He said, "We won't shed no blood of the white man." But this is our story. This is why they took us down. So when they say Seminole and Yellowstone exhibition, what the hell is that? It's still the same people. Anti-pirates, come on. Still us. Winnebago, Sac and Fox Indian War, Black Hawk, back to the Cherokee Indians. And see, the Seminole is still with them because it's still the same, you know what I'm saying, gang. It's still the same tribe fighting against the hijack. This is still the Chickamauga, except they're switching the names around because they don't want you to really understand how long they had to fight the Chickamauga. They started their whole American Revolutionary War fighting against the Chickamauga, and they continue fighting the Chickamauga this entire time, damn near all the way into the Korean War. Oh, the U.S. invades Mexico, 1880. Still fighting the Chickamauga. Man, what? Philippine American War, still fighting the Sheikah, man. All this is the same people, man. Banana Wars, man. Look at all this. They're just switching the names around. Then they get to the Cold War, Korea War. Then they go overseas and stuff. In the 1950s, until then, all Nagas. All Nagas right here on this side. All Nagas. And research the Philippines and the Nagas in the Philippines and the Ibaru connection and the land of Ophir connection with the Philippines and how much gold was taken out of the Philippines. Whoa, we might have a case right there. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back on that Kamahama, Kamehameha, you know what I'm saying? King of Hawaii flow as well. But just know the Hebrew word of the day right now is barber and barber. We just talking that swan. And when we talk that swan, we just talking the Swan Knights, because Solomon had a whole ship of trading vessels known as the ships of Solomon. This is 775 AD in America, or the Swan boats. Barbary, right? Barbary, right? The ships are shaped like a swan. I can't make this up. I didn't know swan was such a big deal. I'm reading it with you, right? But the swan is the barber, huh? Swan is the barber. These swans are the knights. Before they had the Knights Templar, this is what is popping off. These are the original Knights. And then we got the Franks and the Rus coming together to form the Knights Templar because they're protecting the same swan, the same barber, the same Toltec, my now. Hey, shout out to Texas, right? You see it coming together? The ships are shaped like a swan with a sail like the wings of a beautiful, gliding white swan. After the defeat of Sylvanus to Texas, the members of the royal family were sent back to Europe, where they were under the protection of Nehemiah Theodorus and his family. So we know that we were occupying the vortexes in Asia there and Asia there. Europe is just Asia, man. So that's part of the three Indias in the lands of Prester John. To be a black European, you're still an Asiatic Naga, you know what I'm saying? Wherever you are in the vortex, whether we have, family passing through Russia at this point or whatever, Spain over here, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean you're from Europe or from that part of Asia, but at that point, your family was over there handling business. That doesn't mean that they're Europeans. We got to stop being so short-sighted, man, and start opening our eye bones with wisdom. Open that real eye bone with wisdom, man. So you got Prester John, emperor of the three Indias, which includes what we call Europe today and all that. Prester had it all on lock. The vortex is on lock. You got to, insert the lands beyond the pole, the worlds beyond the pole into this equation, and see what they were protecting, why they were in certain areas in Ireland or Scotland. What were they there for? How long? And then you keep going back further and further and getting more and more answers. But just know that when you talk Sylvanus or when you talk Solomon the Builder, you're talking the Toltecs, man. When you talk King Solomon and Solomon's mines, you're talking the Toltecs, Aztec, Joshua, HaWah, the Ibaru, Moshe, the royal family. They're sent to Europe because Nehemiah Theodoric already has, the full operation going down. Now, they weren't destroyed. They weren't erased. They weren't tortured. They weren't crucified. They were sent and put under protection so that they wouldn't be jammed up by no hijacks. But at the same time, they had to come up off the territory because it got reconquered by another Ibaru. Now, does this match up within the days of Solomon? The kingdom is divided. Or, let's see. I just put it in Google, man. Days or after the days of Solomon. Kingdom divided. Yeah, okay. So on the succession of Solomon's son, Rehoboam, around 930 BCE, dodge the hijack. The biblical account reports that the country split into two kingdoms, the kingdom of Israel. All right, you got Shechem, hmm, Shechem, and Samaria in the north, and the kingdom of Judah. So that's when the kingdom was split on the succession of Solomon's son. Keep that in mind. 775, Nehemiah Theodoric reconquered the American Empire. So you gotta understand you're in an empire, my Naga. You cannot genealogy your way into an empire. You can just say, oh, I have family that's been here for this long, but you cannot say that they're actually from here. Can wear the title of the Negus, of the Khan, are entitled to land in the American Empire. Your genealogy test does not entitle you to land, man. Does not make you Israel. Does not make you, you know what I'm saying, a part of the Sylvanus flow, Nehemiah flow, any of the flow. You just want to be included. And that's called insecurity. You're better off just doing it for the tribe, you know what I'm saying, rather than trying to prove yourself. Do it for the tribe. Because when you do it for the tribe, you do it for HaWah. You know, that's where you want to be. Stuck trying to prove yourself, you get caught in a loop. Do it for the tribe. Do it for HaWah. Take yourself out the equation. Surf the wave. Know that these Nagas, that these Negroes, these tribes of Negroes and certain tribes of Negroes are these people. Period. You know that in your heart bone. Stop trying to prove yourself and prove them. Prove the children. Prove the Nagas. If you want to rock in Nagaville, that is. So does this have anything to do with after the days of Solomon, the kingdom being divided? Well, we know that they were put under protection, right, after the defeat of Sylvanus Texas. Members of the royal family sent back to Europe where they were under the protection of Nehemiah Theodorus and his family. Yeah, and then we get into Israel the Third went south to the Toltec lands of Mexico. So this is a title in America who they're calling Israel the Third. And this is popping off directly in relation with this royal family of Hebrews in America, who are the Swanites or the Barber Hakazi. Now you can follow it. Israel the Third went south to the Toltec lands of Mexico, and his grandson Makir, who's also called Amerique, which could be where they're getting America, but no one's going to tell you that. It's just Makir, who's the grandson of Israel the Third. This is how you know you're in the land of Israel. Now, this Amerique is also mixed Kyoto of the Toltecs, right back to Sylvanus Texas or Solomon. So he's connected with Solomon, right? This Amerique, this Makir is connected with Solomon. He's the grandson of Israel the Third. Talking Mexica. Talking Mexcoto, of the Toltecs. Okay. was the grandfather of Tapuzin. So he's the grandfather of Tapuzin, who is the priest of Quetzalcoatl, who is Joshua or HaWah, who left Cholula for Rhoda. Remember, we found the city of Rhoda in Arizona, 1000 AD. They're putting Tapuzin. Now, he's very important. He's a very important priest, this Tapuzin. He's also known as Israel the Seventh, or Edwal. Follow me now. He rejoined the remnant of the Rodans. This is Arizona or Utah. Mormons knew what they was doing when they came into this area, man. They didn't rename a bunch of stuff. They came to the promised land, man. He rejoined the remnant of the Rodans who he led east and then back to Europe, and some of the Latin Jewish or the Hebrews in, that part of the earth plane. Rodans, which is also red, settled in northwestern Spain, where as trained warriors they were welcomed in the fight to preserve the freedom of northwestern Spain from the Muslims. Whoa, I know you didn't see that coming. So it's a more and more war, my Naga. And just like you have Moab and Israel in the script, you have a case of Moab and Israel going down in Spain, which is why when they say that the Moors were kicked out of Spain, that's a half truth, because not Moab and them, but you, my Naga, you, not Jewish, Hebrew, remnant, you were kicked out of Spain after the Papal Bull, 1452. That was against you by them. Rodrigo El Cid was Tapuzin's great-grandson. Tapuzin's son was called Lane Calvo, who was Lancelin of Calalus. And then we just get that Calalus is Camelot. So Lancelin, they turn into Lancelot. But we just talking Calalus. What does Calalus mean? Hold up, man. Rodrigo El Cid and his father Diego Lanís, or Jacob, married into the Davidic exarch family of Barcelona. So you see how these Nagas is connecting everywhere, man. We're talking about Yakar ben Judah. Yeah. Lane Calvo's sister. Remember, this is Lancelot. His sister is Shamina of Calalus, who married Fernand Nunez of the Counts of Amaya. Amaya. Come on, man. We're just talking Calalus. And what's the meaning? What's the meaning? In this article, it tells of Calalus, meaning promised land. Body bag, Daniel. Body bag for the illusion. This is why they're hiding the Calalus artifacts. This is why they are kind of claiming them as Roman Jewish, but ain't no one today claiming to be a Roman Jew. So it's like left in limbo. No one can claim it because ain't no one gonna claim to be a Roman Jew, and definitely ain't nobody can really claim to be you. You know what I mean? Because the minute they claim artifacts in America at this time, that's when they have to say that they are the Toltecs. They were rode up on by Columbus and them. They're Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl is a Roman Jew too, right? Or we're just talking Remani. Or we're just talking Rema, you know? Pomegranate. Pomegranate. Rema. Hebrew word of the day. Barber. Swan. Barbary Wars. Chickamauga. Tecumseh is a swan. He is a Rema. He is a swan. You are a swan. Swan Knight. Kalalus mean promised land in one sense, or Calis, which is the land of America, is the promised land. Yeah, Nehemiah, he got history. He and his brothers were great warrior Davidic princesses of the time of Charlemagne on the death of his father, Machir. So his dad was also Machir Theodoric. In about 765 AD, Nehemiah Theodoric becomes the Western Exarch. Exarch means that they're the leaders of the Hebrews during captivity, like Babylonian captivity and the David Soslands and all that connect directly to this. And leaders of all the Hebrews of the revived Western Romani Empire. All right. So not all the Roman empires were the same. That's why they had all these splits. And we could recon that a lot more to tell which one was the real Romani and which ones were, hijack Romans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Kalalus means promised land. So everything we talking about, you know, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Tecum say everything we talking about with the seven cities, man. And HaWah and the Tennessee. All this is Chickamauga Cherokee flow, and you know. And why does the Tennessee River Valley area span 7 states? The TVA was envisioned as a federally owned electric utility, blah, blah, blah. The TVA's history starts at Muscle Shoals, Alabama, a small town on the southern bank of the Tennessee River. Right. So President Woodrow Wilson authorized the building of a hydroelectric dam at Muscle Shoals in 1916. Wilson Dam was to provide power for the munitions plant. So it helped power their war, during World War One. So they flooded your cities so that they can have power to go to war against you. Because that's all they doing in World War One. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they call it on paper. Just notice who they were fighting for the first. How many? I mean, obviously it started even before this, but just on this year-by-year timeline of America's major war, 1776, and they got the 4th of July, right? Because they're popping off against you, the Chickamauga, right? Because these same Chickamauga, this is very important because when we digging on these towns, this is who you're looking up, man. This is what you're digging up. Let's go. When it comes to the Chickamauga, these are the Cherokee or Karakah like Karakata, Karakatai. Katai is Cathay, back to pure land. The Chickamauga refers to a group that separated blue, purple, red from the greater body of the Cherokee, right? It's a title. So the other Nagas, they wanted to make treaties, but they separated from them. During the American Revolutionary War, the majority of the Cherokee people wished to make peace with the hijack Americans, near the end of 1776, following several military setbacks and American reprisals. The followers of Gusta, or Red Chief, Dragon Canoe, moved with him in the winter of 1776 to 1777 down the Tennessee River Huh? Huh, my Naga? I can't make this up. I'm belly flopping, man. This is directly impacting Alabama and Tennessee. Alabama. You see it? They got that. They got that Andrews towel, right? Follow the towel. Follow the towel. Just like the Confederate flag, and they got the Chickamauga on it. They're just hijacking the towel. But their towel ain't your towel. Their mark ain't your mark. Their sign ain't your sign, my nigga. Their power ain't your power. And their peace ain't your peace. And that's why the Chickamauga separated when the rest wanted to make peace with the hijacks. You got to give these niggas ultimate respect. They put it all on the line just like the Maccabees. Straight up like that. And they're moving down the Tennessee River, and you telling me we just happen to be digging on the Tennessee Valley Authority Act? And this is in 1933? How much longer? Nah, in 1933, you got the Tecumseh's War, Chickamauga. Again, this is all still Chickamauga. Cherokee Indians, Seminole War, Second Creek War, all still Chickamauga. They're still fighting the Chickamauga. Let's get to 1933. Oh, we're in the Banana Wars, right? Oh, now we moved on to the Philippines. For how long? Same thing, right? Just like the Chickamauga, all this time, damn near 20 years fighting in the Philippines, right? Man, then you go to Vietnam, and then they get their ass whooped in Vietnam. So they got their ass whooped by the Chickamauga. The only reason why they won this war is that the tribes did not come together right here in the War of 1812, the Tecumseh War, man. If the tribes had, if the tribes of Israel had united here, not just Israel, but all the tribes that are supposed to be rocking with the Creator, you know what I mean? If you all had come together, man, there would be no Tennessee Valley Authority, man. You understand your responsibility in this? This is not just information. There would be no damn Banana War, man. Going into the World War One, World War Two. Hold up, where's World War One? How come they didn't put World War One on here? What am I missing? I go from Banana Wars to no major war to World War Two. When the hell is World War One then? Oh, here we go. Banana War, World War One. U.S. invades Mexico. So World War One was invading Mexico, man. Was invading Mexico. Are you kidding me? We're thinking World War One was overseas. If you ask anybody else, they're just coming off the Philippines situation, but they're continuing that, calling it the Banana Wars and calling it World War One, and then invading Mexico. This ain't no different than the war on the Chickamauga. Chickamauga, 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 Chickamauga for the first 20 years and more, right? Oh, yeah. So you see how this is all related. We're just talking Chickamauga. We're just talking Tennessee because they're moving down the Tennessee River away from the historic overhill Cherokee towns. So they're getting pushed away from the towns. And love to Chef Condi, she was like, it's like they got pushed out of their cities and into these floodable areas. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before they might have had high ground, now they're just finding whatever they could, right? They're surviving. And the hijackers watching them, set up shop and build all throughout the 1900s, whatever, and then they just flood their cities like it was chess. Like, yeah, we saw you move into that. We pushed you purposely into the low grounds, like Katrina, like all that, right? So They relocated in a more isolated area. They established 11 new towns in order to gain distance from the colonists' encroachments or the hijacks. They kept trying to get their distance or their separation, because that's what they do. They separate from the hijack. They're trying to gain distance from the colonist encroachments, military invasion from this same system at play today. And you want us to get some magic tenderoni situation, trust you with invading our bodies, man, when we have to stomach this, stomach you flooding our towns, stomach the poisoning. Because that's how they got us, man. Biological, chemical warfare from the top. You gotta wakey. The frontier Americans associated dragon, not dragging, dragon canoe, love to the bro, and his band with their new town. So this tribe, they got associated with the town on the Chickamauga Creek. They are not Chickamauga by their own title. These are Hebrews. They were called Chickamauga because they got associated with the Chickamauga Creek. And Chickamauga means the river of death. So they got associated with the river of death because so much death occurred, in the family at that place, at that Chickamauga Creek. And they began to refer to them as Chickamaugas. 5 years later, the Chickamauga moved further west and southwest into present-day Alabama. Bang. So we'll see how this Tennessee connects to this Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, situation. Authority, you know what I mean? Whose authority again? Because it's not the Most High. Establishing 5 larger settlements, they were then more commonly known as Lower Cherokee. This term was closely associated with the people of these 5 lower towns. So that's the backstory of the Chickamauga. You just need to know that they separated from the hijack. They hijack free. Moving up or down the Tennessee River. Wow. Okay. 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 The Tennessee Valley Authority established 1933. President Roosevelt's popping this off. They're just trying to build munitions, right? Now, he authorized the building of this dam in 1916. What was happening in 1916? Glad I got this timeline up, man. It gives us some perspective. 1916. Oh, yeah, Banana Wars, our people, Philippines, invading of Mexico. So while they're doing this, they're doing that. You know what I'm saying? While they're invading, they're also drowning your lands and you, my Naga. You know what I'm saying? Your history, your flow. This is all happening at the same damn time, which is why we gotta always have perspective. These dams are military war to flood Naga cities. Straight like that. The war ended before the dam was complete. Construction on the project languished through the 1920s while Congress debated what to do with the property. Some senators wanted to sell the dam to a private company, while others thought the government should retain public control of the property. Senator George Norris of Nebraska proposed that the Muscle Shoals Bill, which would allow government use of the dam to produce and sell electricity. President Herbert Hoover vetoed the bill in 1931, insisting that it was the job of private enterprise and not government. So, yeah, it's definitely private. It's a more and more war, man. As the country plunged deeper into the Great Depression, so all this is happening at the same damn time. I mean, all are happening at the same damn time. You got the Great Depression, you got all these wars following the Chickamauga situation, into the banana and the World War II situation that they're saying. with the damn dams being put on their head bone. You got G.E. Kincaid excavating the Grand Canyon. You got the Kalalus artifacts being discovered. You got Charles Bent, Manier, all them, popping off with these artifacts in Arizona. All this is happening at the same damn time as they're building damn dams and flooding us out. As the country plunged deeper into the Great Depression, however, distrust of the private utilities festered. Many believed the utilities charged too much for power. Americans began to support the idea of public ownership of electric utilities. President Franklin D. Roosevelt incorporated many of the ideas of the Muscle Shoals Bill into the Tennessee Valley Authority Act. In 1933, Wilson Dam became the TVA's first hydroelectric facility. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Commerce. Developing agriculture. What about the agriculture that they are flooding? The TVA, oh, here we go, covered a 7-state area, including Tennessee, Alabama. I mean, why does Alabama got to be next in line? What's it got to do with the Chickamauga? What's it got to do with the Tennessee River? What's it got to do with this lower Cherokee area they're calling present-day Alabama? hmm And they established 5 larger settlements. Okay. Okay. Are we seeing clearly yet? Mississippi, Kentucky. We just dug on the Kentucky Lake. We just did the Google Earth underneath Kentucky Lake. Georgia. Come on. North Caracatire, Caracay, Cherokee, Caracay, Carolina. Cara is a Turk. And Turk, it means black. You know what I mean? So you're just talking black or melanated or dark, whatever they trying to use. The Carolinas are the Caracatai. Virginia, my nigga. Come on, man. Virgin land, promised land. So, why these 7 states? In addition to the Wilson Dam, the act gave TVA the authority to acquire lands. Whoa. Do I need to pull up the Doom Diverses 1452 Papal Bull saying subjugate these, Saracens, these Negroes, this tribe of Negro, these Nagas, subjugate them? And these lands are going to be belonging to King Alfonso and them, and take their movable and immovable goods, the kingdoms, dukedoms, principality, all that. Do we have to go there? Because they now had the authority based on the act of Wilson, the Wilson Dam, Roosevelt and them gave them the authority to acquire your lands all along the Tennessee River and any of its tributaries for the construction of future dams. Damn. So because of this Wilson Dam, the act, in addition to the Wilson Dam, this Tennessee Act, TVA, they could acquire all these lands along the Tennessee. Man, you know how many lands? Damn. They could just take it and make more dams, more reservoirs. So they now had the authority to sink whatever they wanted, to make more dams and reservoirs and transmission lines, power plants to power their invasion, you know what I'm saying, on your head bone, flood you out. Another goal of the TVA Act was to modernize one of the nation's most impoverished regions. Low energy rates would help to ensure affordable, reliable power for all. Come on, man. Hijacks. Encourages economic development of who? Provided jobs to who? And bringing electricity to rural areas. Really? Because, the areas that we were in are now underwater, you know. So you must be talking about yourself again. Oh, there's some criticisms. Yeah. But they just want to talk about uh, cheaper energy. Cheaper energies. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this for you. We'll get, back into this and a couple other links. We'll look at the lost towns, like the lost towns of Pickwick. There's no doubt that TVA's dams transformed the valley and made life easier for its residents. This is off TVA.com. For some, though, the unified plan meant sacrificing home and community for the greater good. Whose greater good? Whose home is being sacrificed? Whose community is being sacrificed, man? The Pickwick Landing Dam, the second of the main river dams to be constructed by the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, is a multi-purpose dam. It is a significant power or producer of hydroelectric power generating 240,200 kilowatts of electricity and has a flood storage capacity of 417,700 acres. Wow. So it can store that much water, redirect it anywhere in the neighboring 7 states or in that particular area. We're talking about lost towns, Con. Con. Right. This seems like a super duper, militarized weapon. Hmm. Imagine the cities that are underneath this damn dam, man. The reservoir also covers a portion of a treacherous mussel shoals, which limited navigation of the Tennessee River, which once limited navigation of the Tennessee River. However, the shoals are not the only feature hidden beneath the tamed water of Pickwick Reservoir. Now it's tamed. What was wild? Vestiges of past lives. Past lives. Whose lives? And once vibrant communities also lie below the surface. Okay, and then it gets into the New Deal. So we'll get right back to that. Before we do, let's fall back, or even before that, Ahab, again to my 500 co-keeping Nagas. If you haven't contributed yet, my Naga, if you find it in your heart ball, please pause the video and contribute. Click the link below so we can continue to build our blue, purple, red, white linen gold thread fence. And, we don't know how long it's going to take or how much it'll take. We just know that we'll have it as we go. And we believe in the 500 co-keepers. So please keep supporting, because we're going to need way more than this to finish. Even the paint job is going to, so it's going to be a project, but we don't care how long it takes. Like I said, like, we're building a kingdom. We're not just building a spot. This is a kingdom, my Naga. So, let's make it beautiful. Let's make everything beautiful. Let's get, what I'm saying, the most, beautiful, materials that we can afford, and if it takes a while, it takes a while, but we ain't building nothing cheap. We're using premium, cedar wood, and we want a beautiful, shelters and our well, and, just playgrounds, tree houses for the droplets, like a nice meeting center in the middle, man. Just, we got visions, man. So just continue to support us, and we building in real time. It's like nothing you've ever seen. It starts with a fence, it ends with you, having protection, shelter, and unity. KTC. Hey, out to all the supporters. A lot of my Nagas supporting recently. I'm saying, you already see the vision. You say, man, they gonna need much more than this. Let's keep going. And I appreciate y'all. And we do. Tracy Slocum, Ahab, MHOE, most high over everything, man. That says it all right there. Ozaline Perry, HaWah, Shalawam Khans, Real Truth, 432, Knowledge Drop, the stand and fight for the freedom, liberty, prosperity of unified indigenous Nagas. The tribe. I always knew, I felt, I believed us Nagas were more than they taught us we are. My vibration, connection, associates with the frequency, code keepers. Man, build, join, support, Nagaville, KTC, MHOE, HaLal, JoiWorld, popping off. Thank you. Ozaline is truly popping off, man. Mikael Sanders for JoiWorld, man. Simple and beautiful, man. And the bro's an incredible artist as well. I can't wait to feature much more of your music, bro. Gary Stewart, Halal, wow, that says it all. Let's go. Chauncey Brown, I do it for MHOE, KTC, blue, purple, red, white, linen, gold thread. Halal, wow. Hey, my naga's popping off. What can I say, man? This is a very important mission. Thank you for sharing the truth and helping us find who we are. George Negron said for the water well, KT. Hey, man, all my nagas is popping us off, and we will not stop. The drop will always continue, man. HaWah. Hey, hi to my aqua. I'll leave the link below so you can get in the classroom of my sister, my aqua, copper color creation. She popping off. And she got some drop on Arizona cities underwater. We just talked about some Arizona drop. You know what I'm saying? Going down with the Kalelu's flow and, so much, Grand Canyon connectivity as well. And that Hoover Dam, man. Damming up on them Arizona waters, Grand Con flow, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very interested in Arizona's underwater cities, my Naga Aqua, copper color creation. And I know you've been healing up and reeling up, and we're all proud of you for every step you're taking, and we're all rocking with you. One ThaWaDa, HaLal. Let's fall back and get a few minutes of this Yapa presentation from the Aqua, and we'll be right back, jumping right back into the Tennessee Valley Authority flow and this Pickwick Dam lost towns. So, all right, let's fall back, my Nagas. Make sure we got enough time because we're going to have a beautiful dismount. I also want to get to the Great Slave Lakes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, we got some drop on the Great Slave Lakes, some what they call deep secrets. 13 reasons to visit Great Bear and the Great Slave Lakes. I know some of y'all never heard of Great Slave Lakes. They try to say it was named after a community called Slavies. And, they used to enslave people. Okay. And now they just gone. It seems to me everybody that enslaved people are flourishing right now. But these people got persecuted for slaving. Come on, man. There's more to the story. The question is, what's underneath this water? What's underneath this water in the Northwest? Hey, Aqua, pop it off. I want to know what's in the water in Arizona. Aqua, take the wheel. Hold on, let me make sure I pause out of this, man. Shout out to, no, not that. Shout out to Relax Mix, man. That's beautiful 432 binaural flow. Yeah, I mean, you know how we do. 432. Hey, pop off, Aqua. Teach us, man. I'm in the back of your class, man. Arizona cities underwater. Shalom.
Hey, family. Hey, family.
Let go.
It's your girl, Copper Color Creations.
Let go.
Coming back with another update for the tribe.
Come on.
Hey, y'all. Peace be with you. All right, now. We back again. And we have a new topic, family. All right. Let's go ahead and get it started. I want to thank the creator of heaven and earth, my mama, the Holy Spirit. Honor your father and your mother. that's your carnal and your spiritual
Wow.
parents. I want to thank my family. I want to thank the Drop Nation family.
Wow.
I want to thank everybody who waking up, researching, reading, and finding out who they are and where they come from. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. The topic of this video, thanks to Drop, is going to be Arizona cities underwater and major mining cities as well, because we discovered some things. I figured, Drop has been telling us, hey, try to see if you have some, which we already know. A lot of us do have, cities underwater right literally around us. So I said, while I was doing my research, when I do my research, I'm always bookmarking, researching 3 things kind of like at one time. And that's just how my mind goes. I'm just tagging it 3 things at one time. Like I'm just thinking about literally 3 topics at one time. And so while I was researching for another video, I ran across some things. So I did locate a lot of ghost towns in Arizona. Okay. Yeah. This is crazy because, what I discovered is really, is highway robbery. And I'll explain it to you guys. Arizona has a lot of ghost towns, and they have a lot of cities underwater that are fully intact. Some they've even turned to tourist spots, and they pay you to, go and either sleep in, on the site. It's really crazy. Let's get started. So, even though I came across so many, I am going on a road trip this weekend to look at some more land, and on my way there, I am going to actually look at what cities are underwater or what goes.
Hold on,
The
hold on,
copper
hold on.
ore is
Hold
for another.
Hold on, Aqua. I just want to give you honors. The sister said I'm going on a road trip to look at some more land, because the sister already got copper land popping, no? And I want to give honors and roses to my Aqua for popping off copper land. And you know what I'm saying? My Nagas, we gonna rally to make sure we're there for Copperland. The 500 code keepers need to be there for Copperland. You know what I'm saying? You got $20 to put into JoiWorld. We got $20 to put into Copperland. And $20 with 500 families is $10,000. That's how we move in Drop Nation. That's how we unify as code keepers. Hey, we back, man. We back. Aqua, I'm sorry. Pop it off.
Other video, I ran across some things. So I did locate a lot of gulls, and they have a lot of cities underwater that are fully intact. Some they've even turned to tourist spots, and they pay you to, go and either sleep in, on the site. It's really crazy. Let's get started. So, even though I came across so many, I am going on a road trip this weekend to look at some more land, and on my way there, I am going to actually look at what cities are underwater or what ghost towns that I'm actually going to be passing up, so I can stop in and get a look at it and see what's going on. Boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get started. The first city that I came across is called Alamo Crossing. Alamo Crossing is a ghost town in Mohave County, Arizona. The town was settled in late 1890s in what was then Arizona Territory. It served as a camp for mining prospectors in the manganese-rich Artillery Mountains. Being the only town in the area after 1918, the post office permanently closed, but the town was only intermittently abandoned, with its founders often present through until at least the mid-1950s. The town was intentionally flooded. Wait, let me read that again. The town was intentionally flooded. Did I read that right? It said the town was intentionally flooded, y'all, in 1968 to create Alamo Lake. In 2020, the area of Alamo was revived for mining again, this time for surface level gold prospecting. Wait a minute. Wait, family. I'm gonna get to all this.
Pop off. Let's go.
But I'm still. Is this how we gotta dig into this, because this say in 2020 that they opened it back up for mining because they see surface level gold prospect. Oh, wait a minute. So you mean it's still gold? They still mining? Do y'all realize how major this is? This is major. Let me tell you how they do this. It's a pattern, y'all. This is some good information. Okay, so Alamo Crossing was founded by Tom Rogers in the late 1890s through the town road of Signal. Was supposedly built in 1860 or earlier. Alamo Crossing was never a big town. It is on one side of the small Artillery Mountains range. Here, there are many concentrated ore deposits, and the town was founded as a non-permanent base for mining prospectors in the area, with the residents typically camping out. During its heyday, the town only consisted of a 5-cent mill and just a few stores. The town's post office opened on November 23rd, 1899, and was permanently closed on December 31st, 1918. The post office had previously closed on December 15th, 1900, and was reopened with the town named Alamo, March 30th, 1911. The town was inconsistently abandoned through the 20th century. A 1949 account says that the Artillery Mountains area only inhabitants are a few prospectors and miners and 2 or 3 ranchers. The entire population in 1938 was probably less than 25 persons. Alamo is the only settlement, and at times even it is abandoned. Local legend tells that Native Americans attacked the town, raiding the store and poisoning the storekeeper and the postmaster. Soon after fled the town due to boredom, stealing the post office's money. The more likely truth is that the mines simply ran dry. In the early 1950s, during a manganese boom, the camp saw some revived interest, and Alamo Crossing served as an important river crossing during this time. But it was said to be soon abandoned again. The Rogers brothers were still living in Alamo in 1928 when Al Rogers attests that the first manganese from the area was shipped in about 11 cars to Alabama. They were also still around in 1949 and had many unpatented mine claims nearby. One, known as the Oversight, was a few miles north of the town. It opened in 1952 and was shut down in 1954 after producing over 1,000 long tons of ore. Another was Mesa manganese with 27 mines in the claim located about 17 miles away, but most easily accessible from Alamo, discovered in 1949. Tom Rogers and his mining prospective associate John M. Neal of Kingman, Arizona. They leased the Mesa Manganese mines to a Californian company in 1953. It produced a few hundred tons of ore, much of which was processed in the area, but was also closed in 1954. Other 1950s mine claims around Alamo Crossing include the Castaneda Group, the Shannon Group, and the Black Barrel Group. Other residents in 1940s and 50s include Mr. and Mrs. George Lewis and Mr. Kimmel. The climate was such that Alamo often flooded for weeks during flood season. In 1968, the Bill Williams River was dammed. Did y'all hear that? In 1968, the Bill Williams River was dammed. There they go with all these damn dams. It was dammed. And the now ghost town was submerged with parts of the reservoir 80 feet, 24 miles deep. Stop playing. So, they were mining ore, guys. Okay? Ore is a mineral. It's a mineral extracted from the earth through mining. You know, it contains one or more values. Can typically all about metals. These are minerals regardless. Okay? Regardless. There's different ores. Don't let them fool you. Okay? We got gold ore. We have iron ore. We have copper ore.
Bang.
Okay? A gold ore is a rock with gold in it.
Bang.
An iron ore is a rock with iron in it.
Bang.
And a copper ore is a rock with copper in it. Basically, metal compounds, guys. This is our things. These are our things. They're stealing our things. I pretty much.
This is our stuff.
I see the game here, and I'm not gonna make this video too long. But what I will say is that it's a pattern I see, and I'm gonna go over that. Okay, it's a pattern. So let's see. This was published August. Abandoned Arizona. 11 must-see ghost towns in Copper State. Copper State. I like that. Got a copper color creation in Copper State. Okay.
Come on.
All right. It says these abandoned Arizona mining towns offer an insight into Copper State's rich history and are must-sees for any visitor. Okay. With literally thousands of abandoned mines, y'all, and surrounding communities throughout Arizona, there are plenty of lesser-known ghost towns to check out. These are, let's just make this clear. These are the must-see ghost towns. These are the 11 ghost towns that they turned into tourist attractions. So let's look at them. Let's go through them briefly. We have the first one is Jerome. Okay. And I'm going to leave all links in the description for you guys, for those that live in Arizona or live near or plan on traveling here. They can come check all this information out. And I'm not even done. This It's going to be many videos with this hunt, so don't worry about it. I'm going to be giving updates on my trip and what I find and everything, guys. So let's start with Jerome. Was founded in 1876 and named a U.S. continental city in 1976. Once home to the wealthiest mine in the world, owned by one man. The whole town was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1967. Those are our things, guys. Our items, okay?
Yeah. Some nigga named Jerome just owns everything. Man, we can't make this shit up.
The third largest town in Arizona at its peak, the Boom town, was called the wickedest city in the West in 1903. And I wonder why they call it the wickedest city. I can imagine. The local count showed 37 bars, 13 bordellos, and 4 churches, which the locals thought was just about right. Jerome was the largest producer of copper, gold, and silver in Arizona simultaneously in the 1920s before the mines closed in 1953, and it became the largest ghost town in the West. Wow.
Have you heard Jerome?
Wow. So Jerome is a tourist site now, y'all, and you know they told y'all that this not your land, that you from Africa, so they want y'all to go on over there to Africa so they can go ahead and mine your copper, your gold, and your silver.
Bang.
And if you think this is just happening in Arizona, nah, this is happening all over Georgia, everywhere. So yeah, now I see why they want us to be African. I would want us to be African too if I was stealing our copper, gold, and silver and all our minerals. Let's go to number 2, Bisbee. Probe deep into Arizona's mining past in Bisbee, a town of colorful architecture and equally colorful characters. Throw in a touch of a haunted and a pub crawl, and Bisbee is anything but an ordinary destination. As with all the best treasures, Bisbee is a hidden gem tucked just beyond the point where you think you've overshot the approach of Arizona's southernmost border. In Bisbee, however, there's no such thing as going too far, unless, of course, you live more than 70 steps up on one of Bisbee's 350 historic staircases. Today, Bisbee remains a unique place where the past clashes with the present in a melting pot of passion, art, and charisma. I bet you. Number 3, Kentucky Camp. After discovering gold nearby in 1874 and the population swelled to over 500 miners, migrants from the east named mines in the area after their previous homes, giving Kentucky Camp its name. By the 1800s, most of the gold deposits had run dry and the population dwindled quickly as it has grown. In 1904, the Santa Rita Water and Mining Company built the current buildings at Kentucky Camp, but swiftly abandoning the camp in 1910 after struggling to stay afloat following the tragic death of its founder in 1905. Today, visitors can hike and bike and even camp or rent one of 2 cabins for $75 a night on the site as part of a USFS program. Wow. So not only did they steal all the minerals, they are getting they're making money by making it a tourist site. So they making money off of it, just juicing it. Tourist people coming. Do you know how many people coming through Arizona as tourists? Could you imagine how much money they make? Could you imagine? Also, because they're still mining. That's crazy. I just can't believe right where I'm at actually right where I'm at in my city, in my state. I got these towns. Okay. We got the next one, Swansea. Swansea. Swansea is a brilliantly well-preserved ghost town in western Arizona, named after the Welsh hometown of founder George Mitchell. Swansea's mining operations kicked off in the 1880s. By 1909, a post office was established and the town expanded to a population of 750. Just a year later, the first railroad arrived from Boise, connecting Swansea to the rest of the world. The town had normal saloons and restaurants, but also featured a car dealership, a theater, and an electric light company. Today, dozens of buildings and structures remain and can be easily explored. Oh my goodness, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy, y'all. I mean, I know y'all see the pattern, okay? I know y'all see the pattern. Number 5, agua caliente. Agua caliente. Unlike typical Arizona ghost towns based around mining, agua caliente, which means hot water in Spanish, was established around a natural hot spring and a stagecoach line. The natural hot spring in the area was used by indigenous Americans.
Bang. So they got a natural hot spring. And love to yourself. I know you popping off, man. This town was centered around primary men, man. Agua caliente. Centered around this hot spring, this primary water, this fresh-born water. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, we got to get back in that primary men. Let's get a couple more minutes. Let's pop back off with this TVA and into this slave lake.
And then by travelers along the Butterfield Overland Mail Route in the early 1800s. Okay, let me read that again for y'all. Y'all know how I like to read over things that are very important. Unlike typical Arizona ghost towns based around mining, Agua Caliente is caliente, which means hot water in Spanish, was established around a natural hot spring and a stagecoach line. The natural hot spring in the area was used by indigenous Americans and then by travelers along the Butterfield Overland Mail Route in the early 1860s. Indigenous Americans, guys. Okay. Hackberry is the second one. It began in 1874 as a silver mining destination. The initial mining helped to develop the town, but the claims quickly played out and the area was reduced to a ghost town. When Route 66 was constructed, the town was revived with several service stations. Misfortune returned when Interstate 40 came along, and the town once again depreciated to next to nothing. The Hackberry General Store reopened in 1992 as a Route 66 information center, and once again the town's future rebounded and the population slowly grew, as did the number of Route 66 travelers. Today, Hackberry is an iconic Route 66 stop for many travelers, but still retains that ghost town charm. Tip Top, located around 50 miles from Phoenix, Tip Top was once among the three most active mining towns in Arizona, the other two being Tombstone and Wickenburg. At its peak in the late 1880s, Tip Top had 6 saloons, 3 stores, 4 restaurants, a school, and the first brewery in Arizona. She's a tip-top silver mine, said the prospector Jack Moore to his partner Bill Corning in 1875, and the name stuck. I bet you it did. The pair set out south from the town of Prescott, trying to get to Castle Hot Springs, when they stumbled upon some rich minerals. Later, the town quickly shot to a population of 1,200, and the men were earning up to 1,000 ounces of silver per ton of ore. In 1895, less than a decade later, the town fizzled out, and despite a brief revival attempt in the 1910, the town was abandoned by the onset of the First World War. Today,
and Shalaki, Queen, it's like, you're in the promised land. It's just rich, flowing with milk and honey.
The ruins of Tip Top stretch nearly 2 miles along Cottonwood Creek. There are dozens of buildings in various states of ruin, an old head frame, and several tunnels still left. Chloride. Ghosts likely outnumber residents in this western Arizona town of 350, give or take. So they basically saying the ghosts running it. Don't go through there. Considered the oldest continuously inhabited mining town in the state, Chloride is home to cattle ranchers, briefly painted cliff murals, dark skies, and a hand-built ghost town within a town, Cyanide Springs. Stop playing. All right, number 9, Gleason, y'all. Once home to a turquoise mine. Wait. Once home to a turquoise mine preferred by Tiffany and Co. in the mid-1880s. All that remains of Gleason today are some private ranches, a nearly collapsed general store, and an old jail. The jail was restored and operates as a museum with local artifacts and lore, open on the first Saturday of each month or by appointment. Okay, let me write this down, because we finna go see Gleason if it's still open.
Yeah.
Oh, we for all that, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. The next one is Gold King Mine.
Come on, man.
Formerly the town of Haines, Arizona, the Gold King Mine is part museum. Oh, another museum. Part mining camp. Huh? Okay, the $5 admission gets you into the site, which also includes a display of vintage cars, trucks, abandoned mining equipment. Self-guided tours take you through exhibits such as a 1914 sawmill, a mine shaft, and an array of old buildings that once served as the dentist's office, school, and garage. Kids are welcome. Families can take part in a blacksmithing demonstration or try their hand at gold and gem panning. Wow. Last one, Goldfield, y'all. Goldfield Ghost Town gets a special mention as it's a recreated boom town that's great fun for the whole family. Visitors can ride Arizona's only narrow gauge railroad, catch a mock gunfight, visit the Superstition Mountain Museum, or take a ride on Superstition Zipline. This is original content from Newsbreak Creator Program. All right, guys. All right. So, I forgot to mention the fair use, y'all. I was so excited to drop this information. Fair use. No copyright infringement. This is for educational purposes only. I'm almost done, y'all. Halfway through the video, I say that, but all right. So we know that it's 11 must-see ghost towns. All right, and now we know why they must see. I'm gonna put them in my to-go on my boots on the ground. My copper boots on the ground is the name of my mission, and I'm gonna stop at those places. I also found 275 ghost towns, y'all.
Wow.
Look at this. Look at this, family. Look at this, y'all. Look at all these. Look at the names of them. 79 Mine. I mean, Aztec. They got Castle Dome. These are ghost towns. 275 ghost towns in Arizona. Copper Creek, Copper Basin, Copper Hill, Copper Mine, Copper Polis. Are you serious? Are you serious, y'all? Are you serious? All these ghost towns, ghost towns, and you got all this homeless around in Arizona. And you mean to tell me y'all can't get these ghost towns going and to fit these homeless families of need, to get these ghost towns back booming? Nope. You know why? Because the mission is this, guys. Here's their mission.
And how we so overpopulated with hundreds of ghost towns in each state, but we're overpopulated. But you got hundreds of empty towns. Hey man, body bad for the illusion. Man, hey, Aqua's popping off, man. She only got about 6-7 more minutes, so I'm gonna let Aqua just take it all the way to the house, and then we're gonna dismount back into the Tennessee Valley Authority.
Their mission is this is what they do. Now, they go in, they set up a town, they get it booming, they move people into the town, they open up a post office, they get a railroad going, or whether or not they get things booming while they mine and steal the minerals. While they're getting the minerals, once they're done mining, they shut down the town and flooded it either intentionally or just make it a ghost town. So if they're not stealing anything, why do you have to hide to mine? Why? It's really weird. Why do you have to open up a town, move people in there, open up jobs, create jobs, open up a post office, do your mining behind the scenes? Then when you're done and you done gutted up and stole all our minerals, shut the town down and flood. That's just what I see. That's a pattern. I haven't. This is gonna be part one, because this is a lot to cover, guys, and I'm finding out a lot right around me. So stay tuned. This is some good information, and shout out to Drop, cause he got me on one. All gas, no brakes. And definitely got boots on the ground this weekend. We're going to check these. I also heard the locals say that there are a lot of cities that are still intact underwater, still put together, still intact. Like, this is crazy. Like, and they say when you go visit, bring your scuba diving gear. And I'm like, why? Because you're going to see a whole city underwater. Like, these locals know exactly what it is. There's no secret to this. So, also, when y'all hear minerals or, ore, like I said, ore it contains metal or metal compounds. So it could be mined profitably. It could be gold ore, iron ore, copper ore. Yeah, minerals. We got many minerals. Man, you could be, just to think that we own all of this and these minerals are ours and they're being stolen from us right literally under our noses. We finna put a stop to that. Fact. The creator of heaven and earth will put a stop to that. He has already started. If you have not seen what's going on in this world around us, in all these little sacred places, okay? Because whether anybody want to realize this, America is the old world, okay? And if you don't believe me, do your research. Just do your research. That's all I tell everybody. Please don't trust no man or woman. Do your own research and find out why, number one, these cities are underwater. Number two, why are these cities ghost towns when you got our people suffering with no place to live, and you got 200 and almost 300 ghost towns? Nah, I'm not feeling that at all, family. I'm not feeling that at all. And I am so glad I came across this video. And, just like in the words of my mother, like my mom said, she, they did this to us. They took our mama from us. They took the Holy Spirit from us. They turned mama into a man and called her the Holy Ghost because she is gone. In that New Testament, she is a ghost because she is gone, just like these ghost towns. So this is nothing new under the sun. If you can discern and see things clearly, you can see exactly what they did, calling them ghost towns. For real. Okay? Ain't nothing ghost about our frequency, about our mama and our father, our framer and our shaper. Ain't nothing ghostly about that. Then, let me just make this clear. There's a tour that you can take to get to these cities, and they say, oh, it's spooky because it's a ghost town and the ghosts hunt you. They trying to scare you away from your history. Don't be scared, and don't let no man put no fear in you and going to find out your history and find out who you are and where you come from. Facts. With that being said, family, boots on the ground. I will do a follow-up part 2 video on what I discovered more in the direction of where these people are going. Y'all heard them say that they stopped the mining and they stopped it in what? It got flooded in 1968, and then now in 2020 they remining it. Post submersion in 2020, the new mines were open around Alamo with the British company Power Metal Resources. Come on, man. Okay. Having begun digging for gold nuggets after visiting the area and seeing a 30-centimeter deep test pit excavated and 3 small gold nuggets turned up with a borrowed metal detector. Hold on, y'all. Naga, that's why they don't want you in them ghost towns, man. You might come up, you know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you, like I tell my HaWah as we get excited to investigate, man. And, I got to get the AHA to the HaWah Amber Ruffin, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, she was dropping on these underwater towns, and whoever dropped that on us. So, this takes a whole village, man. Drop Nation, man, got the drop. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? It's Drop Nation. I'm surfing away with you. You surfing away with me. And that's just how this is going. That's how we rocking. HaWah Copper Color Creation got the drop. Make sure you do yourself a big favor and hit that red button. Make sure you're in the classroom, because I can see she's just now popping off, and you do want to be there when she puts boots to the ground in my HaWah. I'll tell you this, as you already know. You know what I'm saying? Move with wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Move with, caution, definitely, man. And of course, no fear and all that, but, I definitely want you to be safe, everything you do, and, you know what I'm saying? And any of my Nagas going into any of these ghost towns, we can't confirm or deny,
that you're welcome, you know what I'm saying, with whoever's there, whatever the case. So, just proceed with caution, but of course, you know what I'm saying, know that HaWah is your guide, man. HaWah is our guide, man. And we're being, led by our frame and our shaper, like she said, that Ruach is our breath. Mama's our breath. Mama's our breath, It's not just, you know, um, some separation, you know what I'm saying, Christianized or just Holy Spirit, that type of nah, man. Mama's your breath, man. That's your breath, man. It's your breath. It's your flow. You know what I'm saying? It's that energy, it's that ether, it's beyond your Holy Spirit. Mama's the breath, the framer, you know what I mean? And Mama's connecting us with a lot of ingredients. Our Ba is always our vibration, our security, our Wa, you know what I mean? So you put that together, you have your Ha, your breath, your Wa, your security, the sixth and the fifth letter in the Paleo Hebrew, HaWah, hey, Wa, HaWah. This is what our our true leader is. This is what our true guide is. And this is what we're all, feeling and being guided by and hearing the same sound. And we over here at 432 popping off with the wave. And you popping off with the wave. And we surfing the wave. My Naga, my sister Copper Color Creation is the wave.
These people. It say the value markets. Tom Rogers reported on the discovery and how it was being touted as comedy gold based on the unorthodox dig. He also noted that the British company Power Metal Resources price increased 12%, reflecting that the site is owned as prospects by the U.S. firm Frisco Gold Corporation. British's company Power Metal Resources their shares continue to rise as it prospected the site through April 2020. So, could y'all imagine if I took my excavator and I went and dug up all these gold nuggets on our land? They're stealing our things, guys, right in front of our face, right here. This is right here. Right here. I don't know if they thought we weren't going to read or we don't read. I really don't know what the motivation is, but game over, y'all. Game over. It's game over. And it's all out there. This information is literally just right there. If you just go out there and read it and look for it, it's right there. This is not hidden.
For real.
So, y'all, with that being said, most high over everything. KTC, keep the code.
Yeah.
And I will be following back up. All right? Shout out to all my new subscribers.
Wow.
All right? Shout out to my family. Shout out to my Drop Nation family. I appreciate everyone reaching out, helping me with anything that I need help with. All right? I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.
Hey, Copper Color Creation. My HaWah got the drop. So let's go. Lost Towns of Pickwick. Okay. We're talking about the Pickwick Landing Dam. Second of the main river dams to be constructed by the Tennessee Valley Authority. Let's get it from here. Because, they're going to say what they want to do. Right? Oh, inexpensive electricity. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get to real. Relocating homes and families. When approval of Pickwick Landing Dam was announced in February 1934, the Tuscumbia Times proclaimed, quote, President Roosevelt gladdened the heart of every man, and it is true, that most local residents eager for good-paying jobs celebrated the coming construction of both dam and reservoir. However, their enthusiasm was somewhat tempered by another, less appealing consequence of the construction effort, the loss and relocation of hundreds of homes, farms, and families. The vast reservoir created by Pickwick Landing Dam affected sections of the Hardin County Tennessee, Tishominga County, Mississippi, Colbert, and Lauderdale counties in Alabama. Prior to construction, TVA surveyed and mapped approximately 100,000 acres of land. The agency then acquired more than 63,700 acres, clearing about 12,590 acres of this land of trees, buildings, and fences. Clearing how much? 12,590 acres of this land. Trees, buildings, fences. Remember, they can acquire land all across the Tennessee River, right? You know what I'm saying? So they mapped 100,000 acres of your land, man. Then they acquired, because they can do that through the, Tennessee Valley Authority Act. They can acquire whatever. So 63,700 acres. They just took it. And just for that, couple little acres of flatness, right there where we got it. I mean, together was $40,000, why not? Out of our, pockets, why not? 40K for 2.5 acres of land in Udall. Now we got it, in the prime location, you know what I'm saying? And, that we needed to build and yada yada. But at the same time, 40K for 2.5 acres. I'm just giving you an example. You can get it different, up, down, left, right, but I'm giving you an example when they just steal 63,000 acres and you just put down 40K for 2 acres, man. You feel like the Suckatony of Suckatony Jacks, man, because they just taking it and they're selling it to us back for what, 18,000 an acre, 20,000 for an acre, in certain areas, or you can get, a whole chunk, you know what I'm saying? You get like 60 acres, for 30K some places, I mean? It depends, depends on what you're getting, but they just took what they wanted. They surveyed it first, right? They surveyed and mapped it, and they chose the best 63,000. They said the other eye. And then they cleared 12,590 acres of this land of trees, building, and fences. TVA studied the effects of the damming reservoir on the 4 affected counties and concluded that the building of the Pickwick Landing Dam will result in the partial flooding of 2 towns, Waterloo and Riverton. And partial flooding, my nigga, is flooding. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap when that water come in. So Waterloo, gone. Riverton, gone. Both in Alabama. Eventually, 506 families were relocated, and cemeteries, highways, bridges, and utility lines were either moved or protected. Now, this is what they do for their people. When it's time for their people to move, they help them relocate. You know what I'm saying? They are protected. Our people, they just, you know, they just kill us. And, you know what I mean? They just kill us. You know what I mean? That's their mentality. Obviously, the price of progress was the dissolution of home and community. While these families were forced to move, the relocation was no southern diaspora. It almost appears most families stayed close to their roots. Many of these families found it difficult to solve their own relocation problems precisely because they preferred to remain in the immediate area where opportunities were scarce. So they, these people just chose oh, I don't want to, do this. I'd rather stay here. Like they were just making their own choices. Their people. They ain't talking about us. They ain't giving us our story, right? It's the hijack story. The communities of Waterloo and Riverton prior to the construction of Pickwick Landing Dam dependent on agricultural income derived from lands that would be included in the reservoir area. Riverton was partially supported by employment on the Colbert Shoals Canal Lock. Waterloo derived some support from the lumber business, but it was estimated that all marketable timber would be cut within 2 or 3 years. Oh, sacrificing for a stronger nation. Yeah, yeah. We got to make the sacrifice, right? More than loss of property, it was a sacrifice of community for the greater good. So this is a story about their version of their communities being sacrificed. But we know about our sunken Naga cities by now. Yeah, let's go. Botanica.com. Let's talk about Tennessee Valley Authority again. Just reestablishing some facts about these damn dams. Right, established in 1933 to control floods. Right, that's the play on words because they really caused the flood. If they control floods, then why is there always a flooding that occurs whenever the dam is built and some cities got to be flooded? Oh, but yeah, that's just a sacrifice because then later we can control the flood. No, you already accomplished your mission. Already accomplished your mission. And, love to the sister copper color creation. That seems to be the routine. Yeah, move in, instead of just doing the mining flow, you know what I'm saying? They, set up their shop and they do whatever the case on top of what you already got. And then all the resources are up. They just burn the joint, right? Flood the joint or turn it into a ghost town. And whose psyche wouldn't, I mean, process ghost town in some spooky way? So only a, real adventurous Naga, like Copper Color Creation, will go right into something called a ghost town. But once we, see clearly, all the fear starts to leave you. Like, I can't be afraid of any area. Mine, what's in it for us? I mean, we can all see an opportunity in these ghost town situations, but we just had to get to the point where we can see the ghost towns a certain way in a certain perspective that we call a 360 dragon flitter. We see clearly, like, whoa. Like the sister said, all the homeless Nagas in need. I mean, my Naga, this could be huge, right? I mean, if it is what it is, all praise to HaWah. Nagas just start taking over they cities again, you know what I'm saying? The ones that are not underwater. But we got a lot of recon to do. So, yeah, this is giving you, much of the same. You can get it from Britannica. Let's go, man. Let's go. Underwater ghost towns in Tennessee. Oh, it's getting good now. Oh, it's getting good now that we've, you know, established ourselves with the Tennessee Valley Authority. Tennessee is known for its many beautiful lakes. What people don't know is some lakes have a secret. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I never thought this would get so juicy, man. This secret that we're investigating has dropped nation. Under the sparkling waters are sunken towns. Under the sparkling waters are sunken towns in Tennessee. We must be talking about the Cherokee who moved, dragging canoe. He moved down the Tennessee River. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Then they moved further west, southwest into Alabama. We're talking Sunken Naga towns. I mean, Wouldn't it make sense that they would be sinking their towns, man? This is late 1776. Look at the timeline again. Make it make sense, right? By the time they're popping off these dams, like the Tennessee joint, it's the 1900s. But look what just finished happening, right? And if all these are just the Chickamauga, and if our theory, connected with the Kumse and him being a Hebrew, when you understand Tecumseh as a Hebrew and this as an Israelite last stand, it all starts to make sense why they had to sink and flood and ghost town the entire joint up. They had to cover it all up. We can't even picture hundreds and thousands of ghost towns, man. We just think of it as just big holes. You're gonna find a bunch of mining holes and just buildings hanging over, but what's underneath all that? Like what's what's there for real, for real? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. That's the thing. We just don't know. But we do know that all this is going down. Then they sunk the town. All this is going down. Then we got sunken Black City, sunken Black City. My nigga, where's the black people? You, the Indian. Oh, black is in wicked? Oh, okay, well, the black is the white. WIGHT, that is. WIGHT. Black is white. But you're the Naga. And as soon as they invaded Mexico and the Philippines, the Filipino Nagas, for the dismount, man. So we're going to talk, um, you know, let's just go to images, man. Images of the Philippines, man. Images of the Philippines. So when they say Philippines, please get it through your head bone, man. Please get it through your head bone. What's in the Philippines, Managa? Managa, this is... oh, my goodness gracious. Managa. See this dark Indian right here? The curly hair? That is the Filipino before expansion or invasion. Please understand what the Filipino look like. You see this Negro with curly hair looking like, Jerome. This Jerome. Shout out to Jerome City. We gotta dig on that Jerome City. Love the copper color creation. Yo, these are Negroes. See the nose? This is the Filipino after expansion. He's all, just like us, right? But this is what he was before invasion. This is after invasion. Before invasion, after invasion. In the Philippines, man. Can you please adjust your mind bone when they're telling us about a Filipino-American war, man? Can you please adjust your mind bone? Body bag for the illusion. Hey, you tribing up, man? You tribing up? Because we do it for the tribe. What they're saying is that these indigenous Negroes are the indigenous Filipino, because all this is connected to Lemuria and Mu in the same situation. South America, Central America, all this is the same flow. Kamaya, King Kamaya, you know what I mean? King Kamaya, same flow. Hawaii, Same flow. This is what, when we say Nagaville, we're saying everywhere you go, there's a Negro, right? And this Negro is the indigenous Khan on the entire earth plane, man. That's not Pan-African. I'm talking Filipino. I'm talking American. Copper color races found here. This is what they meant, and this is what they're talking about. If you don't see that, you hijack city, man. That's just where you want to be. But we see us everywhere we look, and you can't stop that with your short-sightedness because you want to genealogy your way into what? The Philippines? But this is the Filipino before invasion. And this is the Filipino after invasion, man. Yeah, man. It's all happening, man. It's all happening. It's all happening. These are the Philippines. The Philippines. This is what they came for, right? This is what the Filipino look like now, right? This is what the Filipino used to look like as the face, just like the emblem of America, right? The emblem of America. The emblem of America. I'm not even going to put in black, Negro, nothing. I'm just going to put emblem of America. And the first one that pops up is who? Oh, man, we talk that Sheba flow, you know? We talk that Khalifa flow, you know? Yeah, I know you know, man. I know you know. Cause we know. Man, give me this, man. Give me this. This is the emblem. Let's read it together. Of America. You can't genealogy your way next to this queen. With uncle such and cousin such and such. That doesn't give you a right of entitlement to the land filled with promise for the children of Israel. This is what they meant by copper color races found here. And we shouldn't have to knock you over the head with this, but we've been knocked over the head so much that it's time for us to do some head knocking, man. This is an emblem of America. It's also the same emblem of the Philippines and Hawaii and everything. Haiti to this, to South America, to Peru, Chile, Costa Rica, Honduras, Ecuador. It all looks like this queen. That's not Pan-African. That's Pan-American. Because this is an emblem of America. She ain't from Africa. It's just what it is. Don't try to prove yourself. Prove her. Focus on proving her. You'll be proving HaWah. Ka. Philippines. Got it. Yeah. So, after they invaded Mexico and Hawaii, right? Who's the king of Hawaii? Kamaya Maya. You know what I mean? Then the U.S. forces invade Mexico. Spanish-American War, then the Philippines, right? Then they switch it to something called banana. And that's what they're fighting for the next 20 years in the banana wars. Anything to do with the same Nagas of the Philippines and the Mexicans and the Colorado Nagas up to the Templar. And they say no major war here, so that means it must be something real major going on here. Maybe tied in with the excavations going on with the Grand Canyon and Kalalus. And here we are in World War II. But World War I, remember, was against the Philippines, right? and the Mexicans. It was still a World War I was fought against Americans, man. Amarucans, right here in America. Mexico, Philippines, all that's America, man. World War I was against you, Nagas, right in your face bone. Right here, you see it. This is when they're building dams, right? Same thing. And then World War II is supposed to be, they don't even give you a location. They don't even give you a location. But, hey, it has something to do with the Philippines still. And don't think these Korean, Nagas ain't popping off too and all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all this is you. All this, my Naga, is still you. Vietnam, that's still you. Do I gotta pull up a picture of the original Vietnamese? My Naga? Another 20, 30 years of that. Now you in the 80s, man. Now you with, oh yeah, CIA proxy war for sure. Now you got George Bush, cocaine, everything's happening. Crack hitting the streets, right? It's all happening. Then we got the Iraq. This is us growing up. I'm born in 79. By this time, I'm 13. I'm hearing about Iraq, right? We're hearing about all this stuff. And then you got the Twin Towers and, all that stuff happens, right? So, bang, now you in Afghanistan. Now we've been in Afghanistan for going on damn near 20 years now. So that's how they keep it going. They ain't stopped. I mean, they say America's been at war 93% of the time. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They ain't stopped. What parasite stops invading your body? I'll wait. Once you invade, you can't stop invading because you're permanent invaders. You got to keep invading because it's never truly yours. You got to keep your foot on the neck of the indigenous cons until the cons put their foot on the neck of the hijack and start popping off. HaWah. Hey, we're just talking about Tennessee, you know. When we talk Tennessee, we're talking the Chickamauga. We're talking Tennessee River, Alabama. Let's go for the dismount. So under these sparkling waters, Tennessee, whole communities were flooded by the Tennessee Valley Authority, man. Whole communities. The rivers of Tennessee have a long history of flooding. These floods destroyed farms, washing away crops and homes. In the 1930s, the United States government wanted to help stop this. Man. Oh, they wanted to help. Look, it's like an oxymoron. The United States government wants to help, huh? Not us, right? Because they're at war with us the entire time. You can't possibly be trying to help the Chickamauga or the Barbers, Hebrew word of the day, the Swan Knights. I know you ain't trying to help the Coops, say the Seminole. None of these Cherokee Indians are getting help. These Mexicans ain't getting help. The Mexicans, Texas Indians, Navajo, Yumas, California Indians. None of these niggas getting no help. Where's the help? Did the help come to the Philippines? Man, y'all didn't help nobody. I don't see no help. So that's definitely an oxymoron. They also wanted to aid farmers in protecting the farmland. So yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with helping you. To do this, TVA was created to build dams to control the rushing water, electricity, blah blah blah, blue blue blue. One such town flooded was what? This is the new lakes they created covered many towns, not just one town. Many towns were covered by water, with hundreds of feet of water. Hundreds of feet of water. Golly. This is military warfare. One such town was Lewiston, Tennessee. It was first settled around 1800 by the Stuckberry family. And don't believe none of their first settled dates. Like, I just don't jive with it. Even when they give you numbers and it had 300 people, I don't believe their numbers. All I believe from them is that there's a town underneath the water. And whatever else after that is up for us, you know what I'm saying? But They're going to give us whack-ass numbers. They're going to give us, their people that settled it, Mormon settlers in 1800. Well, who was there in the 1700s? Who was there in the 1400s? Who was there in the 900s, my nugget? I got to get back to Sylvanus, Texas, and them. The Barbers. Hakadzin. Come on, man. Oh, John Lloyd. It's always some jolly story of theirs, man. This is the pattern I see, Aqua Copper Color Creation. They always got some jolly story about one of their jolly families, man. John Lloyd moved there in the early 19th century. By 1866, he was called Lloyd's Crossroad. It was called Lloyd's Crossroad. It's always one Naga that owns everything, right? Well, not Naga, but, one hijack. 1894, the name was changed to Lloyston. Man, look at this, guy. It's just their city. They just moved there and started a whole city. They had just owned Nagaville. This family just owns them some Nagavilles, man. Come on, man. Oh, look at their, beautiful white school. Where's the Indians, man? And this is who we, they had a school. All this is underwater. They didn't build nothing, man. They just moved in, man. Don't believe the photo. All cap. All cap, man. Oh, man. Another sunken town was Willow Grove, Tennessee, known today as the town that drowned. The town that drowned. It was located on the banks of Iron Creek and named for the willow trees that grew nearby. Like Lloyston, it was a thriving community, had churches, a general store, a school, a grist mill. 1942, the government bought the land and began demolishing homes and other buildings. Damn, they didn't even sugarcoat it. 1942, hijacks, they got the land, they just bought it or stole it, I know they didn't buy it for no $20,000 an acre, right? Like they try to sell it to us. And began demolishing homes and other buildings. They forced the people to move. On July 18, 1942, the community had its final picnic. It was a way to say goodbye to the home they love. Oh, man. They want everything to start in the late 1800s, 1900s, and give you no history in the 17, 16, 15. Notice this every single time. Soon after the completion of the Dale Hollow Dam, the waters came and the lake was created just like that. Military warfare. It was named for the Dale family. Willow Grove before the flooding, man. Look at that. You probably got mounds and all kind of stuff popping up. They just moving in. You think they built the houses? Hell no. What happened to the Nagas that was here? And it's always the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, man, letting you know it is a U.S. Army military. This is a military exercise, right? Look at it underwater, man. Look at the foundation of the Willow Grove School underwater. What? I gotta get a screenshot of this. I've never, like the sisters say, you can go scuba diving. I mean, I don't know if I'm even ready to see it, man. It'll just probably just, turn me into weeping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. To really see all the structure. I mean, we building a fence, and I can't imagine that being underwater. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine what they've built and what's underwater, man. Wow. third Tennessee town flooded by the TVA was Butler. Long history of flooding by the Watauga River. Come on, it's all our stuff right here. 1940, a bad one hit the community. Several people died. A bad flood. Okay. This event led to the building of the Watauga Dam, constructed in 1942, but World War II stopped it. Building started back up in 1946 and was finished. So, this is when they was finishing up with the Banana Wars, right? The Philippines, right? Our Nagas across the seas, you know what I mean? Look at this Watauga Lake and Dam, Eastern Tennessee. So what is under the lake, man, right? Butler was the largest town to be flooded in Tennessee. Wow. Over 700 families had to move. But that's just the numbers they're giving you, not the numbers that, you know, actually were there. Butler's story didn't end like those at Loyston and Willow Grove, though. Instead of being flooded and never seen again, Butler was moved to 200 acres of farmland on higher ground. The town was rebuilt. See, this is what they do for their people. But the Naga cities weren't rebuilt, but the hijacked cities were rebuilt on higher ground. Which again, after they're pushing the Chickamauga around, they're pushing them, into these other areas, man. They start 5 larger settlements. They were commonly known as the Lower Cherokee. Why? Were they on lower ground, Managa? This term was closely associated with the people of these 5 lower towns. Were they being pushed into lower ground to intentionally be flooded? I mean, the people could not perceive what was coming. The Nagas could not perceive that these fools was going to build dams and flood their lower towns, right? Flood their lower towns, man. We're just talking Chickamauga. But it's the same military war because they just told us who's behind this. The Army Corps of Engineers. They're behind the TVA, man. Got your cities underwater. Yeah, it hurts. It's gonna hurt even more, man. Now you ready for this ride? Gets a little painful sometimes when you dig up the truth. It's a little painful sometimes. Wow. Modern towns were not the only ones to be flooded by the TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority. The site of the Cherokee towns of Kota and Tanasi. This should definitely hit home for you, man. It wasn't just the modern Naga towns. They flooded the OG towns. My Naga, that's why I said they moving in saying we got 300 families. Where's the Nagas that was there before that? And the older OG towns of Kota, Chota, Tanasi, in Monroe County, they were flooded, located along the Little Tennessee River. Chota, Chota, was the most important town of the Cherokee people. Ain't we talking Chickamauga? This was the most important town. Why? They said the famous Cherokee leader Atakulu Kula once lived there. So this is ancient Naga history. And they put it underwater on purpose. My goodness, what is still there? What is still there? From 1969 to 1974, recently, my Naga, the University of Tennessee excavated the site and discovered several townhouses and over 60 other buildings. That's just what they found, and that's just what they're telling us. 60 other buildings. Man, where's my I need some frequency, man. I'm about to just pop off, man. Where's woo? Cause it's one thing for them to flood, the recent drop, you know what I mean? But man, you just gotta imagine the connectivity, the artifacts. They got your stuff, they got your things, and a lot of it is underwater for the dismount. 60 other buildings, Managa, 1979. All right, so this is the year I was born. The land was partially flooded by the Telico Reservoir. It's another drop we got to dig on. A monument was built near the site in remembrance of the people who once called Kata. Reminds me of the Kara Katai, which means Cathay. Is this Kota Cathay, which means pure land? Ta-Nasi. The monument is designed like a Cherokee townhouse. It contains 8 pillars for each of the 7 clans, like the 7 cities of gold, and one for the whole Cherokee nation. What's with this 7 situation? What's with the 7 situation? You dig? Understanding that the Aztec legend of Aztlan, Plato's mythical Atlantis, the Romani Hebrew Kalalus, the Spanish kingdom of Cibola, or the Naga kingdom of Shambhala, 7 cities around Lake Kapala, and the Tibetan Hindu mystical 7 kingdoms of Shambhala or Shimbala or Sheba, the Welsh Annuan, King Arthur's Camelot, and the land of Avalon, and many others such as King Solomon's Mines and the land of Ophir and Moses' promised land were, wherein he sent scouts who brought back pomegranate, Redmon, as evidence of having found it. Why pomegranate? We'll come back to that. Most of the places mentioned are located on some island surrounded by an ocean or a vast lake. Uh-oh, boss. Nothing to see here, boss. Nothing in America. Get your passport. To get my passport, to get that plane flight, Nagas is going to have to get the tenderoni hit. Are you suggesting we get the tenderoni hit so we can fly to the Middle East to face Zion? Or are we already home in the ancient world? Shambhala, Cibola, Atlantis, Kalalus, Avalon, Ophir, Promised Land, Pomegranate, Granada. So most of the places mentioned are located on some island surrounded by a vast ocean or vast lake, and in some accounts believed to have disappeared by sinking and or associated with 7 peaks, 7 caves. I keep saying, what's with this 7? They're talking about sinking over here. We're talking about a monument from the Cherokee. This site excavated underwater over 60 other buildings. This Kota Tanasi. And they have a monument. They got 8 pillars for each of the 7 clans and 1 for the whole Cherokee Nation. You know, they're including the Chickamauga, right? 7 clans, 7 peaks, 7 caves. Tennessee covers 7 states. The Tennessee Valley Authority covers 7 states. All kind of stuff, man. I'm just saying. What's with this stuff, man? What's going on here, man? All right. They say the goal was not to destroy the towns, but improve the lives of Tennesseans in the future. Well, who's going to be the Tennesseans in the future? Who's going to be the descendants of the invaders? The successors, right? That's who they're securing. That's what they're improving. But what are they destroying? Everything. Everything, man. Everything, man. Everything, man. Man, let's go. Slave Lake. Slave Lake is a small town in northern Alberta, Canada, or Canada, northwest of Edmonton, and a similar distance southwest of Fort McMurray, located southeastern shore of Lesser Slave Lake. At the junction of Highway 2, Highway 88, Municipal District of Lesser Slave River, Slave Lake serves as a local center for area. In Naga, I know all nations, got some history with slavery, especially the whites. Recon General Muck Muck in them, right? We know that the Moors had the whites in slavery for a while in Europe. Yeah, that's European history. They're set free, set loose to come over here and jam us up on behalf of these Moorish tribes. That's why we claim, in reality, this is a more on more war. And it's very likely that's exactly who's behind the scenes today. I'm talking specific tribes, not the general Moor, but specific tribes, right? The first European known to visit the area at the present-day town of Slave Lake was the British explorer David Thompson, who arrived in 1799. So he's the first European to touch base over there in Canada in 1799. Fur trading post. All right, all right. Here comes the Hudson Bay Company. We got to get back on the Hudson Bay Company, man, and the connection with the King James flow. You know what I'm saying? A settlement developed around the post and became known as Sawridge. So then I looked at Sawridge and I said, what's this Sawridge about? This seems like another town that was flooded. It was renamed as Slave Lake in 1923. So before that, it was Saw Ridge. After a flood in 1930s destroyed much of the town, it was relocated and rebuilt. Not you, Managa, for them, on higher ground. So they always rebuild on higher ground for themselves. And they flood you out and just kill you. Gotcha. The town of Slave Lake was inundated. Here we go with that word again. Flooded, right? By a flood of Sawridge Creek. 1988, they just flooded this town. Damn. Look, they just caused destruction. And they did it. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the damn dam. We're gonna get to the damn dam. 40% of the town had been destroyed or damaged. I mean, they had wildfires popping off, flames destroying houses. Yeah, they just blew up the spot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so Sawridge, right? Oh yeah, you got folks really claiming this, right? This is their claim, right? Sawridge First Nation. Yeah, we the first. We the first. We the first. If you're not the copper color races found here, you might want to rethink that. But you got your claim. You got your claim. I'm just letting you know that they're whoever they are putting a claim down as indigenous people, right? Letting you know what Sawridge is really about. So before it was Slave Lake, it was Sawridge, right? And Sawridge seems to have this indigenous tinge to it, right? So what got flooded by this, dam in this Slave Lake scenario? Great Lakes, deep secrets. So back to this Great Slave Lakes. So it's multiple, right? What's under these waters, man? Your history is under these waters. These are, some lakes are, real, lakes like the Great Lakes, you know what I'm saying? Whether these are uh, man-made or, real lakes, either way, they're redirecting the water. Even in the real lake scenario, they're still changing the landscape and they're still flooding you out. Two kingdoms of water. I mean, they're giving you a lot of hints in your face, bone, right? Liquid infinities, because these are so deep and they're connected with this primal. They're connected with this primary water, man. I got to do more recon on this Great Slave Lake if it's man-made or natural. Let's just type it in. Shalak, man, I've been doing a lot of yelling at you. My bad, man. Is Great Slave Lake man-made? Everybody's asking what lies beneath this thing. I mean, so we on to something, man. Like other people are investigating what's inside this lake. I don't see anything popping up directly. Seems like this might be a natural situation. Come on, man. Man-made or natural? We want to know. Formed at the end of the Wisconsin glaciation. So yeah, this might be connected just like the Lake Superior flow, you know what I mean? Or the Hudson Bay flow, right. Hudson Bay Company. Uh-huh. But yo, everybody want to know what's at the bottom of Slave Lake. Now they're saying it has extreme depths, man. This is beautiful. For the dismount and the extreme depths, 200 to 600 meters of Great Slave Lake, the bottom fauna is made up of single species of amphipod Ostraca, nematode. All right, man. What's at the bottom for real, man? Y'all over there playing, giving us the fauna, giving us the fauna. Goodbye, Great Slave Lake. I'm just surfing the wave for the dismount on this Great Slave Lake. Y'all do some recon. Y'all let me know what's at the bottom of the Great Slave Lake. We don't get into the name. They don't give us much. It's named after Slavies. They call them Slavies. So they keep talking about the Cree and the Dene or Dene, Dene, which were some of the tribes right there that were, you know, showing them around. Well, here we go. That's why the term Slave does not sit well with them. Behind every name, there's a history that molds a collective consciousness, a narrative that transcends time and ties people to the land for many, to their ancestors. For Denis Na Ke He Ko, his identity is every way linked to his Dean ancestry. Okay, man. A lot of them are just trying to hijack your ancestry and they just popping into these places and claiming to be First Nations and all this stuff. In reality, they're not the true autochthonous originals in them areas, man. They take the names, they take the flow, and then they look like this. And this is who's supposed to be the face of the indigenous First Nation. Come on. Nancy Scannine is dean. Oh, she's one of the deans from the Cold Lake. Never insult us by calling us Chippeways, because we are not that. And I am not Caucasian. I am indigenous American. Come on, man. They're just taking titles. I saw it coming a mile away. We see it coming a mile away. Great Slave Lake doesn't mean nothing to none of the ancestors. That's an English word. It's their story. Our language has its own story as well. So we need to honor that as well. Camsell says the Mackenzie River is called Deko, which means big river in their language. Great Slave Lake is called Tuko, which means big water. So to them it's Tuko. Oh yeah, we know they just renaming stuff, and they giving us these bogus, storylines and narratives as to why they did it. Just like us, Sholo, Sholo, Arizona. Oh, it's named after a card game. He said Sholo, so we said Sholo. Nah, man, we talking Shiloh. We know we talking Shiloh for the dismount. Yeah. And again, they're just talking about how deep the waters are, so everybody want to know what's in it, man. The bottom of Great Bear is 1,463 feet deeper than Lake Superior. And Great Bear is the largest lake in Canada, eighth largest on Earth. So it's cool. We're not only searching in the man-made lakes, we're also paying attention to the natural lakes as well, because they got some super drop and they're super deep. True monsters live within. What they talking about dragons? What they talking about dragons? Here be monsters, right? On the maps, when they say here be monsters, what do you see? Dragons, right? So what they telling you, anytime there's super deep water, there might be super deep dragons. Oh, behemoth, yeah, yeah, yeah. Northern Lights, yeah. It's all dragon frequency going on with these super deep waters. and these northern lights in Canada and Northwest Territories, you know the Dracons is flowing. Y'all tell me some more about this Great Slave Lake, man. Do some more recon on it. And I just love that we are, doing some great recon, man, on, what's right in our face bone. Whoa, what do you say? What you say? And up on Great Bear, there's just one town, deeply traditional Daliin, where locals see it as their sacred duty to protect these pristine waters, meaning land of the ancestors. So why they call it Great Slave? After some Slavi people? Come on, man. Now it's a national park. Wow. You, y'all trust yourself driving on this lake that's super deep? Man, that's crazy. Frozen freeway. Wow. That's wild. Yeah, man. Couple more links and we out of here. We out of here, baby. We out of here, baby. You know, there is that Mormon lake that's connected with the Folsom Lake situation as well. I believe this is in Northern California. Folsom, yeah. As the waters of Folsom Lake recede to levels rarely seen, the remnants of a long ago abandoned, flooded Gold Rush village are reemerging. Oh my goodness. Gold Rush Village is reemerging underneath Folsom Lake. Wow. Visitors can now this is a man-made lake. Visitors can now see building visitors can now see building foundations right in our face, bone. Bricks, pottery, broken pottery, rusty nails that were all once a part of Mormon Island, man. So do not be deceived. They do not own anything over there. They just are claiming something very important and they flooded it out and they always pay homage to it and go visit it because something is there, my Naga. The town was settled in the late 1840s by prospectors. 1853, I mean, was it settled or was it invaded? Come on, keywords. Keywords. 1853 had a population of more than 2,500 settlers or invaders. And what's the indigenous population, according to California Archive? What was left of the town got flooded in 1955 when the Folsom Dam was built. So they flooded it out in 1955 when the Folsom Dam was built. If this is all about controlling the flood, then why does it cause the flood? Huh? The Mormon Island ruins are about half a mile high west of the now earthbound Browns Ravine boat dock. The Sunken village is a bit of a hike from the parking lot and a trek over a parched lake bed in 100-degree heat. Oh, so hard to see your stuff, right? They try to scare you, try to deter you from trying 100-degree heat. Oh, but those who braved the heat Monday were able to walk through pieces of the past, stepping along what might have been forgotten roads or canals. Any artifacts found should be left behind for others to enjoy the feeling of discovery. Okay. Don't take nothing, right? In the days to come, there will be much to explore as some portions of the town are just now appearing to rise out the water. Despite the uncovering history, Folsom Lake dropping down to 381 feet is not good news. Mormon Island last became visible in September 2015, so for the lake to be this low in July is alarming. The water year is one of the worst droughts. HaWah. The worst year since 1977. That's good news for the Naga. And we are all in this together. Reclamation is working closely with our partners to pave a way. This unprecedented year, Reclamation is in implementing lessons learned from 2015, 2014 and 15 drought years, and an all hands on deck approach to help conserve reservoir storage because they don't want your Naga history popping up. Yeah. Yeah, drought exposes abandoned gold rush village in Folsom Lake. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? These Mormons, man. In Utah, man. Oh boy. Brigham Young in there. Yeah. 3 underwater Mormon ghost towns you can see today. Look at this, man. Just popping in the dried riverbed. It's a whole city underneath this, man. While most ghost towns funded or founded by the Latter-day Saints have exciting histories, so are they founded by them or are they settled by them? 3 Mormon ghost towns stand out from the rest. These ghost towns, once submerged by water, have only recently been uncovered, revealing new insights into the saints that lived there. Oh, these Mormon saints. Or they talking about us. Drought, it has been something many desert dwellers fear, yet these dry spells often reveal interesting mysteries and treasures from the past, including ghost towns. Yeah. St. Thomas, we brought this one up last time. St. Thomas, Nevada, once covered 60 feet of water. The ghost towns of St. Thomas, Nevada, only recently emerged from the depths of Lake Mead as the nation's largest reservoir receded during a long drought. So what's under Lake Mead? St. Thomas. Is it the St. Thomas? Let's go. Yeah, small town, 500 people, man. Dodge the hijack. They talking about the settlers. Yeah, foundations popping up out the water, though. Steps going where? My Naga steps going where? Foundations to what? This is Naga stuff, man. This is your things. You got the town of Thizzle. First settlers in what would appear become the town of Thizzle. The Pace family arrived in 18. It always starts in 1800s, right? Always starts well into the Chickamauga War. You still in the Cherokee Indian Wars. You still in the Texas American Indian Wars. All that Mexican Wars. What they say, 1840s. This is what you doing, and they just taking your stuff while you doing this. While you're preoccupied fighting for your lives, your families, trying to organize the tribes, trying to come together, unify with the Tecumseh flow. This is the residual of the Tecumseh War. And you see how that goes right into the Barber War right here. Before you get into these Barbary Wars, or the continuation, the Second Barbary War. Why do you think that's connected directly with the Kumse? How you go from the War of 1812-13 to Kumse War into Barbary? Unless, unless barber was the Hebrew word of the day. Yeah, because barber means swan. Hebrew word of the day, barbar. And we got that swan connects to the Swan Knights, keepers of the seven cities. Yeah, somebody got to do it. Those are big shoes to fill, my nigga. But somebody at some point got to be the function. Got to step up and be a knight again. Swan Knight, that is. Barber. Conca. Barbary. Barber. Tecumseh. And they're over there in 1840 popping off what? 1848. The Pace family arrived in 1848 after a long trip from Nauvoo, Illinois to the mountains of Utah. 5 generations of the Pace family lived in the town before they were forced from their homes by a mudslide in 1983. That caused $200 million in damage, which means that that's how much they had to even be damaged. Golly. We're talking about paste, like the picante sauce, like the sauce paste. Yeah, man, ranching and farming, probably the paste picante people, man. Yeah, man. Hijack City, town of Dizzle. Dizzle Schoolhouse. Who built that brick house, man? Who built that? Come on, man. Whose house is that? Then, of course, you got Mormon Island, which was never an island. Once upon a time, 300-foot sandbar found at the fork of the American River. But when recently discharged members of the Mormon Battalion discovered gold, cities of gold, along the river in the midst of the California Gold Rush. California Gold Rush. Say it with me. California Gold Rush. We talking Cali? Well, then we better be talking the emblem of America. We talking Cali? Well, then we better be talking Khalifa. She's like, yeah, you better be talking about me if you're talking Cali, because I'm the emblem of America. And America is the promised land. Or what? Kalelu. Con. California Gold Rush. Queen Khalifa, Sheba, Shimbala, daughter of the seven cities. News of the discovery traveled fast. 1853, the town had 2,500 people. Hijacks, of course. 4 hotels, 5 general stores, 7 saloons, right? Sounds a lot like Copper Color Creation, right? Same old thing. The town lasted for over a century despite a fire, diminishing gold. So now they're wearing out their supply and it's time to blow the spot up, right? Now it becomes an underwater town, right? They sink it. So you can't get none. So you can't go home. A railroad route that bypassed the town, leading to the dwindling population in 1955 when the Folsom Dam plunged the town beneath the lake. Wow, right in your face. Folsom Dam plunged the town beneath the lake. The only testaments to the town and the people who live there are hutched gravestones at the Mormon Island Cemetery. So this is the hijacked version of remembering who was there, but they're not going to talk about the indigenous Nagas, the real spill, and why they're claiming it. The remains beneath these graves were exhumed from cemeteries throughout the Folsom Flood Lake area. Unknown, huh? U.S. government wide, huh? Tell you, man. We're talking the battalion. So these are the Mormons fighting in the war, yada yada. Obviously, we're talking hijack city. But old Brigham Young keeps popping up. He's the one that, saw the town of Adair and said, "This is it. This is the place." And then the town of Adair goes underwater too. Seems like wherever Brigham Young is going, here comes another dam, and here comes another flood of another Naga city. 1854, Brigham Young ordered a ship built to carry cattle to and from Antelope Valley. Yeah. Timely gold, which was reportedly designated to be powered by horses on the treadmill, was later outfitted with a sailboat, the Salt Lake Tribune reports. Seeing the foundations of something popping up underneath. Yeah. Last one is this, my Naga for the quadruple dismount. I told you, man. Best dismount of all time, man. Hey, to all the tribe for the beautiful recon. We just digging on it, man. California drought exposes Mormon Island, ghost town, Folsom Lake. Yeah, so it's just some more for you. To dig even deeper, Now check this out. Oh yeah. Let's make this connection before we get out of here. I'm glad I have this link up. What a dismount. As history goes, this is LatterDaySaintMag.com. As the history goes, 3 members of the Mormon battalion. So we just said that they was fighting in, the hijack army against the indigenous, and we just pulled up, the whole timeline, popping off at this time of this American war situation, and this is what we're focusing on around this Mormon Island. What's going on here? You still got the Seminole Cherokee Wars, the Tecumseh Flow still going. Now they're calling it Mexican-American War, Texas Indian War. Come, let's go here and see how the Mormon battalion fits into this. Obviously, they're fighting against the Nagas, right? So they're not just some peaceful, we're moving in and settling Mormons. They're in the battalion shooting down Indians, right? Shooting down niggas, shooting down Nagas, and taking their things, taking their stuff, and flooding their cities. And hiding all the drop, of course. As the history goes, 3 members of the Mormon battalion, which was the only religious unit in the history of the United States Army. Why? Why did they choose to be in the United States Army? This religious unit, a group of Mormon volunteers. They were not drafted. They were not forced. They volunteered. Now, to them, when they write this, they feel good. They feel patriotic. They can look the average American in the face and say, we fought for this country too, right? No, you fought against the indigenous. You exterminated Hebrews. You crucified Hebrew Nagas. You crucified Israelites the whole time. You've been crucifying Swanites the whole time. Barbers the whole time. A group of Mormon volunteers, man, so that they can get some stripes, who helped fight in the Mexican-American War 1846 to 48, stationed at Sutter's Fort, decided to go out on a deer hunt on March 1848. And again, we're talking right here. So this is very accurate. And what happens after that? The Texas Indian Wars, and Seminole Wars are back. Texas Indian Wars are another 20 years of that. Then the U.S. invades Mexico. Then we pop off the Philippines, and we just showed you what they look like, right? So this has not stopped on the Naga from 1776, factually in your face, at least to this point here, 1950 or so. I'll give them that. Maybe, but Vietnam was still us, and we know it. Vietnam was still us, and we know it. Just for fun. Vanishing tribes of Vietnam. Oh boy. Okay. Oh yeah. That's what you're gonna give us? Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Managa, the more you dig, the more you find yourself. Anywhere you look, when you talk Asia, this, that. Look on the walls of China. Look on the walls. Connect Japan, Japan. Connected, man. Connected, man. And you'll find you. They were looking that you have at least 200 straight years of fighting Nagas, fighting the Negro in America that didn't come from Africa. The indigenous Nagas, including this Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? All this was about you. And even when they went to, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, please believe it was still about the indigenous Nagas there. And it's never, have they ever taken their foot off the neck of the black youth, controlling you through all this stuff, controlling your music, your fashion, your education, everything, right? So they're still doing it to you. They just got so good at it. They just, spreading the love around. They just going everywhere. Somalia, war on Somalia. Damn, they just everywhere now because they got the Naga in control from the first 200 years of war against you. And all these people are the same people. The Chickamauga. The same Chickamauga that made no deals. They separated because everybody else wished to make peace. But it's interesting that they associate these people with the lower towns, which is why they got flooded. Look at the time frame from 1776. These are the same Nagas, man. These are the Nagas that built the cities that got flooded, man. And as they got pushed around, they kept building and they kept getting flooded, man. These were in the lower Cherokee, right? So who's the high Cherokee, man? Who's on the high horse? Who's making deals? Because the majority of the Cherokee people wish to make the deals, sign treaties, like the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Should we have to go there? Oh, man, you wish I had time, man. 17 with 80, 86, right? These Moorish, right? These great-ish, they made treaties, right? Which is not very great. That they would side with the hijack on everything, protect them, everything, look out for them, all that. In 1786, right on the head bone of you. So they were helping the hijack against you, and they have their own records of their treaties of peace and friendship. Peace with who? Friendship with who? All we know is that the Chickamauga, hey, they're a different frequency. They're not a part of the majority of the Cherokee that wish to make peace, treaties of peace and friendship. More and more war. They're not a part of that, right? Come on, man. It's always you. What? 1787? The treaty signed by Barclay and the Sultan, right? More and more war with Jefferson and Adams. I just need you to understand what's going on. And all of them are warring against the Kumse and the Chickamauga and all the Nagas for 200 years straight. Ratified by the Confederation Congress in July 1787. This treaty has withstood transatlantic stresses and strains for more than 234 years, making it the longest unbroken treaty relationship in United States history. Their treaty with Morocco, which means if it's unbroken, they're still bragging about the Moorish shield and this treaty they got in the legal system, right? That they own and control. And we 432, but they 234. That's how long they've been going. These Moors with an unbroken treaty. They hold the record of the longest treaty relationship with hijack in hijack history. Don't come over here talking about the Moorish shield to us, man. We are the Chickamauga. You did this in 1786, 1787. Really? The Sultan, Morocco, Esteban Zamora coming for the cities of gold. Do you see it? They're working with Charles Kento, Charles V. You know what he looks like. More and more war. They want us to forget this recent pain. We should forget our own brothers turned against us. If our own brothers didn't turn against us, there would be none of this. You know how much bloodshed is on your hands, man? You know how much bloodshed is on your hands for this Moorish treaty, man? Huh? facilitate trade, prevent war. Nah, y'all band up in war against a common enemy of yours, which are the tribes of Jacob, the tribes of the Preston. Recon it, y'all. Oh yeah, it does affect Canada. And these battalions of Mormons fought in the same wars. And they were a part of the same treaties of peace and friendship. So we built a fence to never be flooded again. Blue, purple, red, white linen, gold thread, because for Nagaville, yeah, for Nagaville, we in code. And we got 500 code-keeping families that can do anything when we put our energy together. Hey, hop to the contributors, all the repeat contributors, and all my anonymous Nagas that see the vision. Hey, hi, man, you see what it is, and you know who you are, and we popping off for you. And we ain't gonna let you down, my Naga. We gonna keep building, because you believe in us. And now it's time for, we to believe in us, I see y'all Nagas. I see y'all. Y'all want a blue, purple, red fence. So we gonna pop it off. Help us build a fence. Click the link below. 'Cause never again. Never again. That's all we can say. Damn. Never again will we be lost. Never again will we be the lost tribe, man. Hey, hi, my sister Copper Color Creation. We found now. We found out quite a bit in a short period of time about how Hijack City is operating. And like the sister says, the drop is right in your face. They didn't really, even hide this stuff. Because I guess by the time we got to it, they're like, well, we hid it under the water anyway. So whatever, man. Go look for it if you want to. Hey, it's game over, man. 7 states, 7 cities, Swan Nights, Hebrew word of the day. Are we talking Shimbala? Yeah. Are we talking Shabala? Kalelu. Cities of gold. Gold rush. Sheba. While comparing the many photographic evidences of the caves of Ajanta for the purpose of comparing to descriptions of the underground city supposedly found in the Grand Canyon. What? Underground city found in the Grand Canyon? I happened upon one particular painting from the caves in which I found startling simply because it jumped out at me. Perhaps you will see it, and maybe you won't. Oh, Daniel Lowe, don't be such a tease. Uh-oh, boss. What do these got to do with the Grand Canyon? From the caves of Ajanta. Researching the mythical place of Shambhala, which means a pure land, just like Cathay. or promised land, I find the following image as well. And I must say there's a certain resemblance to a later rendition. Oh man, there's so much drop, man. Oh yeah, when we start tying in these piranhas, this Hindu flow, oh man, my Naga, we gonna be surfing away for real, for real. Cause X marks the spot. Shalom to the code keepers. Keep literally digging underwater and seeing clearly. The water for surfing away with me, with the tribe, the Shabbat, Drop Nation, the whole entire ether squad, all the wave surfers, and AHA began to the 500 code keepers and all my Nagas behind the wall. You free, and we already won. Shalom, cons. Keep surfing the wave.